of him. I also think that Coolio is a very sneaky player on Budapest 5. He doesn't have the highest stats, but he has a lot of very impactful kills, holding down a certain site on his own, getting a nice little flank. And on LYNGBY Vikings, I would go for Cabby. I think Cabby can, same thing, he can really hold down a site completely on his own. And yeah, I from the riflers, I would say that I want to watch them the most. So, you know, Fleeve is also very good on Budapest 5, but I just like Coolio. Probably because, you know, Gangsta's Paradise is one of my favorite songs.
Well, there you go. Look, on that note, we're straight in here. No messing about. No messing about. Of course, shout out to LootBet there. You see the odds fairly close between. Banner down below. Give it a click. You can get yourself 10 free spins, 100 bonus euros on your first deposit. We don't miss any of the action, so we're very smooth and seamless here this afternoon. Smooth and seamless, though. The CT's definitely going to be living up to that. Coolio coming in with 2. Your man of the hour. Certainly the man of this round. It's still a 2 versus 2, though. Bird from Sky has picked up 2 quick ones, looking for more as well. Look at all the damage coming in. He and Twinks are able to pull it back from a 2-on-4 and just secure the round in an instant. LYNGBY Vikings going to be kicking themselves.
They gave away the entire A site because they were banking on the retake. Was a very nice execute from Budapest 5, smoking off everything. Nothing LYNGBY Vikings could do without putting them in a very dangerous position. But yeah, Budapest 5 managed to somehow hold on. It looked really like LYNGBY Vikings were going to push them off the site completely. But with that, it is still a very decent buy coming out from LYNGBY Vikings on this close range map. The only angle that really is long range is where Corey is about to lose his head.
Quick rotations across here from the CT side, of course. Kind of waiting patiently. There's not a lot going down right now. That opening frag, right? I think this is the perfect way to play your anti-eco, anti-force buy situations. You find the opener, slow things down a bit, play for things like this, right? They're trying to go for the boost. They make a lot of noise. That's a good information tell for the Budapest 5 to work with. And yeah, just waiting for the aggression to come to them. There's going to be an awful lot of it, but they seem to be handling it very well indeed. Not a single player falling really clean from Budapest 5.
It's actually pretty impressive that they didn't lose a single player because it looked like they were going to get swarmed completely on that A ramp. But they just held their ground pretty dominantly and managed to push back that push. And now Budapest 5, they're getting a decent amount of cash in the bank. You know, got to get those rounds up before you accidentally... there's always a possible round that you can lose by accidents, and LYNGBY Vikings, they need as many rounds as possible because they, of course, are not... They don't... If they lose this map pick, they are in a very big problem. They need to shut this one out and make it tough for Budapest 5 to win. Big spray down coming out onto A ramp, though, and this is all Mac 10 money. Finally, the Galil chimes in, but yeah, 4 kills with the Mac 10. That's a lot of gold bucks going in favor of LYNGBY Vikings. Look at that economy on their side. That's at least 3 full buy rounds. But more crucially, Torzi is going to be able to pick up an op. He is on 0 frags so far, but the, you know, he's an opper. So he's got his big green gun finally to try and hold the enemy off.
Yeah, definitely excited to see how this goes down. A very quick play from ramp from both sides, actually. This is going to be a mess. First frag comes in for the T's. Oh, and they've walked past him. Will they continue to walk past him? I think they definitely have an idea that he's there. Yeah, Riles is able to take him down. So much noise made by Corey getting in there that it's blatantly obvious that he's around and inside the smoke. Where else could he be? So really easy openers coming in for LYNGBY Vikings. Torzi going to miss his first opportunity, although a difficult one, to be fair to him. They are trying their best to pull back the pieces here. It's just not working out. They're so ready, so clean on the LYNGBY Vikings side. Once again, another flawless round coming in. It's not really too flashy. Just simple utility usage, good timing, and looking comfortable on the map, whereas Budapest 5 getting caught off guard quite readily here. The early aggression doesn't work out at all. And I feel if they continue with that, it's not going to look too good for them. They really need to play it a bit more passive early on, I think, and let LYNGBY Vikings have a bit more control rather than trying to contest the control. Just give it to them.
This is a struggle coming in for Budapest 5. I mean, they have a 0% win rate on this map, and it is kind of showing right now with the amount of... they're just getting caught out completely, and LYNGBY Vikings have the strats over them 100% right now. But with the deagles, they could still make something work. Close angles, walk into them. However, they do... yeah, okay. Bird from Sky is going to be picking up that mech 10 because he wants to get close and personal. With that molly tossed out, Corey is forced back. Ooh, nice catch from Fleeve. Deeg shots are dangerous, but in the meantime, towards B, there is a push coming out from Coolio. Gets shut down, and that means the B site is completely cleared for LYNGBY Vikings to get that bomb plant in. The rotation from Budapest 5 is going to be a little bit on the later side, and they will get a free plant with molly smokes and everything they need to zone out this Budapest 5 retake. And Twinks chimes in, will fall back towards the stairs, and they should be having a pretty easy round again on the side of LYNGBY Vikings.
Yeah, it certainly has to be expected, but these are the kinds of rounds where teams can let flip the dogs of war, as it were, right? I think Budapest 5 are a great team in situations like this where they are in the force buy, play it a bit faster, a bit looser, a bit more in your face. However, LYNGBY Vikings... And look, this is maybe how it came so close the previous that they played Vertigo. I believe a 16-13 victory for LYNGBY Vikings is indeed, in part, I would imagine, down to some of these force buy situations that they were losing, and they've really tidied it up, tightened it up. Been working now for a good amount of time with the likes of Fetish, who is their coach. Very famous name, of course, if you've been around for a while. The Astralis core were brought into the game, brought up into Counter-Strike Global Offensive by him. Sure, I mean, they had experience already, but into the place that they're at the moment, he began that journey, let's say. Roll's going to open up, looking clean. The danger man of this team. 0-0-6 for Medito. So really not the best start for Budapest 5 at all. It's not just the fact that they've got 5 in a row on the T side here. It's the way in which they've done it. How dominant it has been.
Look at the money. Every single LYNGBY Vikings player over 10 grand in the bank. That is an amazing amount. Barely losing a single player in most of these rounds, and already having the man advantage with that heavy aggression coming through. But this time there's no aggressive push coming out from Budapest 5, and with the execute coming in, it's going to be 2 players trying to defend against big... oh, Cabby just perfectly angled, knowing that his back is covered thanks to the smokes and flashes coming through. Nice nade to get rid of Bird from Sky, but they already have the bomb plant in, and the post plants picked up. Twinks even gets rid of Coolio through the smoke. Okay, Twinks is popping off a little bit too much. And Budapest 5 are going to try and save their double op setup.
So, a lot of things in that situation. Obviously, losing control of A can be quite easy. Maybe easy is not the right word, but you know, it. I suppose a better way of wording it is like it's difficult to contest the utility that comes in from the T side, particularly when you don't have utility yourself. And I feel that's part of the issue there for Budapest 5, is they try and force the issue when they needed to find the early frags rather than go for the retake. They just didn't have enough available, no kit. You know, a double up setup usually is not ideal. It could definitely work on Vertigo. You can split them up, and obviously the sight lines are fairly open. But in terms of getting those rifles in there, just not really doable with that lack of utility. And they don't survive. None of them survive. They don't keep either of those AWPs in play. So really not looking good here for Budapest 5. To reiterate, these 6 rounds in a row for LYNGBY Vikings have been incredibly dominant. No real competition as yet. Budapest 5 are not living up to kind of the expectation that we had for them coming into this map. Sure, it's LYNGBY Vikings pick, and I would imagine looking at it now and looking at how frequently they have indeed been picking it up, particularly in the Malta Vibes Cups, I feel like this is probably their home map, or at least they're trying to make it their home map, right? And yeah. Budapest 5 are just kind of... Yeah, it was competitive last time, but this is wild. We have a kill coming in from Corey. Most of the frags are solid for LYNGBY Vikings here, though, so should be a 7th quite easily.
Budapest 5 actually have 1 kill per round so far. If, of course, he does not manage to get a kill now, they're actually behind 1 kill per round. That is a very sad statistic, and I think they only have 6 kills in 7 rounds. Oh, that just really hurts to see. Look at that, 16k, 16k, 16k.
I mean, this very rarely happens. This very rarely happens, particularly at the moment when, like, you have so many rounds coming close. And we're already here. We're already here, DK Truman. We're already into the Hellcase sponsor role, of course. Shout out to them. Our primary case partner, Malta V15. Couple codes for you guys to get some extra cash. 15% refill bonus. There's a banner down below. Links in chat. You know how it goes by now. We've been here for a while, and Hellcase have been representing and helping us out for all that time. Shout out to them, of course. None of this would be possible without the sponsors. Either way, into round number 8. Is this where Budapest 5 make a difference? It kind of has to be. We're getting to that point where the half really falling apart. Of course, if they win this, it'd be the mathematical advantage, but they could go even further. They could hit double digits. They might even go flawless. Of course, now that I've said that, they won't, but all the same, Budapest 5 need the proverbial foot in the door. I love this little smoke here. It doesn't work out, though. Twinks is ready for it, finds the head of Corey easily, and that'll be the opening advantage for LYNGBY Vikings once again.
Yeah, but they're not fully executing towards A, and with the aggression coming out from Bodito, if he does manage to spot out that there's no one actually there, that could be enough info to relay to his team to give a warning to Fleeve that they're heading into his direction. As yeah, they should be about certain right now that it's not going to be an A execute with 30 seconds left. It's going to be mid completely controlled there. A little bit slow on the rotate. Now they're finally going to try charging in, but Fleeve, he already gets completely pincered. The pincer isn't even necessary, and they're going to save their weaponry on Budapest 5. Another round where they get 0 kills.
Yeah, madness. Absolute madness. It definitely seems like most of the time they either get 1, maybe 2. They really aren't bringing these rounds close. And again, that's the worrying thing. We do see some games, as we saw earlier on, as you were commentating, right? We do see some games that can be very one-sided, but if it's being kept close, you can kind of see, like in the rounds themselves, that maybe someone's clutching out or their retakes are really sick. But you can normally give a bit of a benefit of the doubt of, ah, damn, if only they'd have looked at the right time, if only that flash had landed, if only the crazy no-scope someone pulled off had missed. This one does come close in the end because they go hunting very, very hard. But of course, they've got plenty of cash. And the thing is as well, you might as well go hunting because it's nice to spend the money. You're not that extra, well, I say the 3,000 that you win for getting around, just over, right, depending on how you win it, is useless. If you're on max money, it's useless. So I kind of dig the idea of going for the hunt and taking as many weapons as possible. They don't drop Torzi, but there could have been 3 people with weaponry right now on the Budapest 5 side, and there's only 1. So kind of nullifying the point I was making about things being super, super clean in the end there. But within the context, within the action of the round, LYNGBY Vikings are looking impeccable.
Yeah, exactly. You need to keep it clean until you hit that 16k mark, and then it is just a boost up that HLTV score. See who you can hunt down, drop some weapons, and try to keep their the CT economy, which is pretty much in tatters the entire game. To even break it further, it's going to be a heavy B execute coming out. They're rushing towards the site. Fleeve is flashed off, smoked off, very low in HP. It's Coolio trying to hold the line. He needs help from his teammates. He's even looking back like, where are you guys? Come on. Trying to peek wide to get the bomb diffuser. They're rushing through the smoke. This is very risky, but it is not going to pay off. Riles is flanking through, and the Opper, there's Dorsey falling, and the last man is down. Look at that, 0 loss. And even Riles making that sneaky little jump. Yes, of course, the timer would never have been there in time, but you know, I've seen a couple of pro matches where the top tier pros, you know, Stralis and such, make that jump and accidentally clip it.
True, very true. Kind of do or die in this first half for Budapest 5, though. The last round they needed to get, this one they really need to get. Double digits going to be hit super early here from LYNGBY Vikings. We see some very fast smokes coming in. To me, perhaps pertains to a quick rush. We are stuck on the smoke, unfortunately. Happens from time to time. Counter-Strike is a pain. You know, the observer following it, which is beautiful. Ah, there we go. Beautiful. But sometimes it does get stuck. It's just Counter-Strike things, really. Coolio, in the meantime, has found a kill. For the first time in a long time here at DK Trooper, we've got Budapest 5 with an early advantage.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Torsey did not hit that shot. He's also only on 2 frags with multiple rounds on the op. They do have a man advantage now, finally on Budapest 5. And it doesn't matter that much. Torsey's that low. Bonito gets another kill. Oh, might this be a round that they could possibly convert?
The $1 million question. They need to. They really need to. Cannot let this one slip. Imagine what that would do to their mental. Ral's in a great position here. It's somewhat being watched. So he's not going for it. He's not rushing straight in, but he has control. This is, you know, an inch of control that they can work with. He'll continue to push forwards, trying to capitalize on players not being ready for him, but it's just not the case. Torsey is dead set on that angle, and brilliant that he was. Doesn't move away, not second-guessing himself, as that could have been disaster if he looked away at the very last second, right? The bomb will go down here for LYNGBY Vikings, and any damage that they do in this situation is pretty good, and there's certainly potential to do said damage. The round itself not looking too likely, but we'll see. Anything seems to be possible right now for the LYNGBY Vikings, as they found 3 just like that, and it's back to being even. There's a flank coming in. The CTs are split across. They group up there on the T side. Beautiful stuff, but Coolio is able to just about isolate that 1 versus 1. All going to be onto Twinks, and he can't get it done. It does end up being a bit costly, but Budapest 5, they don't care. They've got their first round on the board. It takes them 10, but they're not going to go down without a fight.
Finally, they find a little bit of hope, and that was not a second too soon. This was a very hard-fought round. It even got super close with the 2-on-5 where they almost managed to clutch it. Luckily, the flank came in from Coolio to shut down the ramp players. And, yeah. They actually kind of got lucky as well, because if they waited a little bit longer, they didn't have a defuse kit on the diffuser. So that might have gotten a little bit dicey. Of course, it's going to be a very aggressive A push to start off with. Jump up from Bonito, but again, he tried it last time. He's going to get caught out. Peek out wide from Rals is not going to pay off. Well, he does do a lot of damage to Corey, though. But it is going to be a fallback coming through. Leave going for the flank play. No one is paying attention to their back just yet. So this might be pretty big. Oh, Twinks, now he's holding the angle. They kill the flanker, and that signals the push towards a different site.
In essence, right, the B-bomb site going to be vulnerable here. This is a smart move, I would say, but there is still that player available at back 90. Cabby left on A. They still drop Corey. This is really well played, using their advantage to their advantage, and really, really whittling Budapest 5 down, and now just waiting nice and patiently. 40 seconds left. No need to take any risks.
Yeah, Coolio has to go big on that B side. They're still planning on taking it. They're just using, at the moment, who is that exactly? That is Cabby as a flanker to try and keep them away from the site. He's just going to try and clean it up. Actually, they're running back towards the A site, and they get baited towards B. Cabby's getting very close. Here's the steps of the Opper. Right above him. He's going to peek out wide, and Torzy is gone. That is so unfortunate that they managed to bait them out. The steps that Coolio heard towards B completely lured his teammate away by calling that it was going to be a B take most likely, and it was all just a massive bait coming in from the LYNGBY Vikings to turn their 1 round for Budapest 5 into 10 for LYNGBY Vikings.
Seems it was unfortunately a fluke in the previous. Budapest 5 not finding the massive shift in momentum they were looking for off the back of that first round.
Typos with a nice 360 jump down.
Little funny.
I mean, at this point, you might as well just go for the nice plays. Though they do still have to play on the CT side, which is, of course, the weaker side. Where I have seen teams at completely 13-2 stomp on the T side.
True. Particularly with where the economy's at, right? Like, it can be very, very hard to get your foot in on that CT side of things.
Yeah, you need a lot of utility to defend ramp most of the time. Like mollies, smokes, and then like you use already 2-3 mollies and smokes at the start of the round. So, and with the extra expenses on the CT side, it is very hard to muster up that amount of cash. As you can see, 1 smoke, and that is pretty much all they have to try and defend that ramp. Getting aggressive through mid. Finally actually seeing some real aggression coming out from Budapest 5. Not gonna pay off just yet. But it also doesn't bite them. The info that they gain from it is always crucial.
Much slower round from the LYNGBY Vikings here. Which I kind of respect. Even with 9 in a row, an incredibly dominant start to this series, ultimately. Taking their time against the half-buy. After the pause as well. Ooh, and rightly so. Corey coming in, able to find one. A bit awkward onto the second. Maybe should have found that. It's unfortunate the nade that Typos had in hand when the peak came in actually finds a frag, and then he's also able to trade back. Corey had an M4, maybe. I see him finding both of those. It was great timing, just not able to capitalize completely.
Oh, this is always such a sneaky angle. I barely ever see a team check the angle around the box. Yeah, look, no one is looking in that general direction, ever. I don't get it why. He's even... Oh, there's going to be Deagle defense from Fleeve. Oh my god, he's going big. 1 bullet needs to connect to Twinks. Ooh. Or a headshot after the first bullet, and they will be able to turn this one around. Magic happening on Budapest 5. But yeah, what I was saying is, you know, up those stairs, you can even duck behind those boxes and still no one ever checks that corner. They always keep their back towards that side. It's one of the most sneaky one and done angles in the game.
It is weird we don't see more of it, I suppose. Maybe difficult and noisy to get down there, so if they do place people early towards B, it can be a risk. But either way, the AWP's looking good here. LYNGBY Vikings have decided to speed things up. Very slow in the previous, very fast into this one. It's not worked. Straight into the double AWP setup. Both of them finding early frags. It will be a 5 versus 3 just like that for the Budapest 5. Meanwhile, trying to get out on B. Julio's got to stand strong here, or not finding the frags. He will go down. I think the bomb plan at the very least going to come in, but will that be enough? 2 versus 4 with limited utility. Really not looking too good here. Cabby, though, smart. He runs out of ammo, however, and Corey's still able to drop him. Torzy sees the shoulder, and he will drop Twinks. There is the third for Budapest 5.
And finally, they're starting to wake up, and all at the same time as well. Been a long time coming, but hopefully for them, they can secure the last 2 rounds to make it possible on the T side. 13 to 12, it is still possible, but of course, you lose the pistol and it's all over. Heavy push coming out towards B. They're going to rush quickly on LYNGBY. Vikings flashes, but he's just completely blind. Does still manage to get the catch onto Bird from Sky, who was also flashed. Everyone is blind all of a sudden. And Twinks, he's going to molly off the angle so that his teammates can peek against that op. Torzy has to fall back towards site. And they do have a man advantage again very quickly. They're going to go peek in wide. Twinks is in trouble. bo3 has a catch onto Cabby. Twinks does turn around and eventually kill off bo3, but there is still one very close. Does he expect him to be that close? Corey up on top. Yeah, Twinks definitely expects another peek to come in from the Budapest 5 squad. 3 versus 4. 3 LYNGBY Vikings defenders on ramp, and there's the peak. Corey falls. They're trying to molly in from behind them so that they don't have a flanker coming through, because that is the biggest fear. Yeah, Fleeve, he is trying to get a little bit more intel and a possible kill as well. That is an aggressive angle coming up from the Opera. Does blindly still catch Twinks, but it is now a 2-on-2, and Torzy just got spotted, so they know where the Opera is, and the last one is Coolio flanking in from the B site.
I'm coming in. Whoa, Torzy, that's nuts. The lineup absolutely perfect. And Typos with 15 seconds left doesn't have many options here. Going to try and go for a plant in a slightly different spot. The last one wasn't that safe. However, Torzy on high will deny him as well. No bomb plants today, thank you very much, he says. Budapest 5 will get the 4th round on the board with an incredibly clean 2k from Torzy at the end, I might add. Really well done from them. Double upset paying dividends and really picking up this momentum towards the tail end of the first half, which I think LYNGBY Vikings, with hitting double digits so early on the T side, although good, they'll be a little disappointed if they can't take this even further. 10-5, a much safer scoreline than 11-4. Even just like mentally, it feels a lot better. So I feel like picking up this final round. Hello?
Okay, that was a weird-ass glitch.
Yeah. Huh, that's a little unfair, one might say. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but Bird from Sky getting tagged up, and he's probably like, how did he know I was here? What the hell? You know, bit weird.
He'll be calling back towards his teammates right now. But yeah, that's, I mean, you clearly see the gun barrel sticking through the wall randomly. Fleeve does go in for the repeak and takes down Bird from Sky, who he already tagged down pretty low. They are going to go for the B take. Gabby does seem to have been pushed up on top of the box. This is actually a very dangerous angle. It gives you a good advantage, but a lot of the time you get sprayed out right through by any CT defense. Coolio peeks out wide, is going to get clean shaven. And now Torzy with the op. Misses the shot, falls back, and the smoke wall is going to be pretty problematic. They're going to go for the boost area again, which is a very risky, as you can see, because Cabby was waiting for someone to peek that angle. Corey peeks out wide, and the last man standing, last round anyway. Torzy, he has to go big, but will not be able to win themselves their 5th round. LYNGBY Vikings have a comfortable lead in the first half.
Really solid stuff. Really solid stuff. Particularly those opening 7-8 rounds were very dominant. Then Budapest 5 were able to bring it a little closer in places. Eventually, the effort that they're putting in pays off. They string a few together, but whether 4 will be enough remains to be seen. As is known, as you've been saying, this T side is a hell of a lot stronger here on Vertigo, but I don't know whether it's this strong. They're going to need a really good performance. And that's a lot to ask. It is a lot to ask. It starts with the pistol. First rifle round needs to go their way, right? They need to convert everything, pick up a good 4 in a row just to have a bit of breathing room to work with. But LYNGBY Vikings, of course, will be looking to get, well, get picked up where they left off.
Yeah, it's if they really need the pistol on Budapest 5, and LYNGBY Vikings, this is the best chance they have at winning a map. Like, this is by far the highest win percentage map that they're going to be playing. Of course, Train is pretty close because 38% is not that great, but LYNGBY really need this one. If this one goes in favor of Budapest 5, it's going to be incredibly tough to try and come back. And if they manage to shut down Budapest 5 on that CT side as well, they might actually break their spirits, which gives them an advantage on towards Train.
Well, here we go. Of course, Loot Bet in with the odds. Shifted quite a bit there since the first half. Quite a lot, actually. They were very even coming into things, but LYNGBY Vikings performing incredibly well. And we'll see, as we have noted, whether it will continue. Speed to begin with from Budapest 5, looking to contest the ramp. Flash coming over the... Smoke coming over the top, mind you. First frag for Torzi. Pretty damn clean. They will get here ahead of the smokes as well. Really good stuff. Typos caught in no man's land. Fleeve will drop him, and they've left sightlines open ever so slightly. Working initially, they will lose one, but the bomb's gone down and a solid advantage to work with here. Quick flank from Bird from Sky. I think this has been heard. There's so many players. He was dead to rights anyway. Had to really pop off. Not going to happen. Cabby, the best bet that he's got is maybe he finds a head or two here. He'll get one, but not the second. And Budapest 5 in with an explosive pistol to open us up.
Yeah, and before we see the comeback, which will eventually turn into OT.
Well, I mean, as is the way with online Counter-Strike.
Yes, exactly, but this does open the door for Budapest 5 to start taking a couple of rounds in a row. It's going to be a LYNGBY Vikings force by. Very dangerous, of course, those deagles at pretty much any angle, any distance. For instance, that one is really dangerous to jiggle peek it, but Fleeve does win that fight. Gets stacked down to 47 HP though, so has to be rather careful. But they do need to win this one rather cleanly on the side of Budapest 5, because you need a little bit of bank for in case that you accidentally lose a round by you know, a ninja defuse or something along those lines. Aggressive move coming from LYNGBY Vikings, trying to get some map control. Seems they expected the mid push. bo3 is there on the other side though. For the rest, this is the only angle that Budapest 5 are really pushing in. Oh, gets a tag, falls back, drops the smoke. Will be disengaging for now.
They're so scared here on the Budapest 5 side, right? The pressure is just massive in this round. Fair amount of utility left to use on the say bomb site, I would imagine, but not out of the woods yet, right? They find their first frag, they've slowed things down. This is a good way, as I said in the last half, to play your anti-eco, anti-force buy situation, particularly on that T side where it can be easy to get overwhelmed. However, with only 15 seconds left, I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan. Rolls has crept in inside the smoke. He will get taken down, shot in the back. So much damage coming in. The bomb's being dropped with 6 seconds left. This is it. This could be it. Anyway, Typos not going to go on high. They'll just get the plant in. They might have missed their window of opportunity. The frag's coming back in, and it'll all be on to Cabby. If he can find 1 or 2, certainly could be happy, get that extra kill bonus, but the round itself, I think, is out of the question. That's a quick one onto Fleeve, but he's dealt with quickly. Goodness me, if maybe in all the chaos, Typods had just gotten aggressive like his teammate, they could have denied the round away. I don't think they recognized that they dropped the bomb, however, and how chaotic it actually was, but we can't be doing that. Again, Budapest 5. That's cutting it a bit too close.
Yeah, especially with you saw that those two players from LYNGBY Vikings, they had the nade set up for any bomb. If the bomb plant would have gone on the default spot, which it did, they tossed the nades the moment they heard the bomb being planted to crush it down. It's going to be BUDAPEST trying to hold off this push, but there's a lot of USPs. He's completely blinded as well. Guesses incorrectly where the opponents are coming from, but so far they only managed to secure one kill, which is an 8k dropped. Actually, Cabby gets another one. That's going to be Twinks securing himself an 8k. Fleeve close around the corner, but Twinks never expects it. Plus, no armor, no head armor means one bullet is going to be a kill. Bird from Sky getting rid of Fleeve. There's a lot of damage being dealt here by LYNGBY Vikings with nothing. With one flash and USPs. I think they didn't even have a single P250.
No, I think you're right. Minimal spend for sure. And the thing is, it's like, okay, you win the round. You do have cash available, but like when you're on this comeback train, especially early, you ain't even left the station yet, really. You don't want to be taking this much damage. It's somewhat... I wouldn't say unacceptable, but somewhat detrimental for sure. And you can see coming into this, right, the likes of Fleeve and Coolio, sub $1,000. So they may well be thrown into disarray if LYNGBY Vikings are able to pick this one up and take them all down and deny a bomb plant, which it's the first rifle round of the half. We don't quite know yet how Budapest 5 are going to perform against the LYNGBY Vikings setup. It's definitely possible. So, yeah, it may seem like a little thing, but every little thing, it can stack up.
Especially also Bird from Sky and Cabby having an extra 3k in their bank account from picking up those AKs. So at least have, well, they don't actually have to force up behind it except for a little bit of armor and some utility. At the moment, it does seem to be a very aggressive B push coming out. And that is going to be Cabby trying to defend it. Pops the smoke, but is blinded upon blinded upon blinded. Are they going to go for the retake, though? A decent nade coming through, but I think they're just going to go for the save on LYNGBY Vikings. It is the correct call because you completely lost control of that site, and going for a retake is probably going to cost you more than you're going to gain.
Certainly is a worthwhile decision here.
But
in that long term, you know, short term, obviously going to take a bit of a hit and whatnot, and Budapest 5 definitely bringing it close and looking a lot more competitive already in this second half. Completely in control of things, and a very simple flash takeover on the B-bomb site. The more bodies they drop here as well, the better. They take down the AWP. Really important frag to be finding. Another coming in at the end. Bird from Sky, just seconds away from living. So it goes from 4 players to 1. That's really big.
Yeah, that's an amazing shutdown. They do have enough to buy. Actually going to go for the double up setup with Twinks going full glass cannon. They do have a decent amount of utility behind it. It's honestly not a bad buy, though Twinks, you know, you don't want to see your top fragger. I think he's actually, he's 16 frags in, and you don't want to see him without any body armor.
Okay, well, somewhat of a risk taken. That's a great little angle. Coolio gets a bullet in the toe. Nasty, nasty stuff, and an early tag coming in for the LYNGBY Vikings. Twinks on top of this smoke. They have to be so careful, particularly as it starts to dissipate and get somewhat smaller. It really is going to help him out here. Oh, has he spotted that head? I think he does spot it. However, the hit is coming in. He takes a peek. Torsy's ready for him. Gets the better of him completely. Fleeve was the one that caused that peek with his frag, so a 5v3 coming in. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if they look to save here, unless someone is able to turn things around. But with Typos going down, Bird from Sky is close, however smoked out, and they've not yet planted the bomb. They've not yet committed, so is it going to be B, maybe? Are they rotating back? That's what the remaining 2 CTs are thinking, with no vision of the A site. I think with that plant coming in, they're just going to look to save. They'll figure it's not B. I don't even think yet that they are fully aware of the fact that it's A. Perhaps as they move closer in towards middle and everything, you would definitely be able to hear the beeping. But yeah, another save situation. So Budapest 5 pulling things back here on the T side. LYNGBY Vikings kind of hitting a brick wall. It's not as crazy. It's not as dominant as their start to the T side, but it's still pretty good here.
I mean, they did manage to secure 5 rounds. Wait, right now? Yeah, that's going to be 5 rounds in a row for Budapest 5 with 0 for LYNGBY Vikings on the CT side. They do manage to keep an op alive. I would say small investment, you know, a couple of deagles, a little bit of utility, and then just save. I mean, LYNGBY Vikings, they need to be careful because if Budapest 5 tie this up, it's going to be really tough because that money on Budapest 5, it's not as dominant as you said as LYNGBY Vikings had in the first half, but still 10k on Corey, 4.4 on Torzy. Coolio's pretty rich. Real gangster right there, and bo3 on 7.5k. Only Fleeve is still running a little bit low on funds, but they can definitely drop him multiple rounds. Yeah, this what is going to be their plan on the side of LYNGBY Vikings to try and defend this? Maybe get aggressive with that op from Bird from Sky. I do think that last round Twinks just held that angle too long. After he got the shot on the player's left pinky toe, he should have... Well, I mean, he literally stood there for like a solid 30 seconds in the same angle. They rush through the smoke, get taken out. One falls to Rals. Luckily, bo3 chimes in with a kill in return. Bird from Sky gets the op shot to finish off another one. I don't even know where he got the kill. But walks down of the ladder, is going to get cleaned up by Coolio. And now it's all on Twinks, who should be able to pick up a nice little rifle. But they're going to head towards the B side where Twinks could be able to throw the defense. Is still going to be very tough though, but the first one should be an easy kill unless they go for the good perfect flash. It's going to be a little bit off the mark, and they are pretty low. 2 headshots, but Torzy does win that duel. The opera reigns supreme, and Budapest 5 join the double digits
very quickly here. Very quickly. From the 11-4, they don't seem too bothered. It's now pulled back to a much more doable situation. Take a quick look here because I'm curious as to the last time that they played. Obviously, we see a technical pause coming in, so kind of perfect timing for that. It was a lot closer. The last time that they played, it was like 8-7 to begin with. So not like it's a repeat of the last time they played this map, which was only 3 days ago. But the result, the outcome, might end up similar. And the way it's going, it might end up this time with Budapest 5 snatching it away. And as we've said, Train a really solid map for them, which is the next bit coming up. Meanwhile, LYNGBY Vikings not finding success on it at all. And they've played it a decent, I would say 8 maps, looking at the rest of their stats and whatnot. 8 times is a fair amount for them. And yeah, they've not won a single one. So Vertigo is a must. Vertigo is a must. No beating around the bush in that sense. I feel like is going to be somewhat of a blowout. And LYNGBY Vikings were looking to win this on Nuke, which might not happen unless they can put a stop to Budapest 5. And they really need to in the next couple of rounds. Their economy not handling these losses well. The mental, the confidence that Budapest 5 are gaining, LYNGBY Vikings are losing with every round. So, do or die time pretty quickly here into this second half. Credit to Budapest 5 for bringing it back to within 1 so quickly here.
But that was a very long pause, and something that I do notice after very long technical pauses especially, some teams sort of slump up. So let's see if that pause actually does help out LYNGBY Vikings in that case. Or is Budapest 5 going to continue their aggression? That's a big nade onto Corey and bo3 though. Drops them pretty low. They're going to go for the boost. Not attempted so far, and finally they will get themselves a nice opener. Peek out wide from bo3 and on site. Oh no, they started off so nicely with that boost, and all of a sudden they get pushed all the way back. There's going to be a bomb plant in from bo3. And honestly, without... They could go for it, but it is still going to be very tough 4 versus 3, trying to retake the ramp from A site.
Going to be difficult. Going to be very difficult indeed. But they're somewhat desperate. Great flash coming in. Budito is caught completely with his pants down there. Tap coming in onto the bomb. Trying to bait some peeks here. Good smoke at the alleyway. Great smokes on the site itself as well to make this so difficult. Torzi's just going in with the knife though. Absolute madman. He gets away with it. He survives a little while longer. Is there enough time with the kit? I think there is, just about to take this over the line. That was a little crazy. But LYNGBY Vikings able to get the 12th. Able to finally put a stop to the madness and hold on to their lead. By a thread will hit their economy a little hard because they only survive with 2. But all the same, control seems to have been regained, at least for now.
The fact that he has to go for the hero play, puts the op on his back and just jumps in with the knife. Very close to succeeding, but unfortunately the bomb was not extended long enough. I did not expect them to win the retake, and they completely crushed it because Budapest 5 got a little bit too scared while they, you know, that one tap on the bomb, the smoke in front of it, and they had absolutely no idea if someone was actually sticking it or not. So they started spraying, and they were just sitting ducks at that point for the LYNGBY Viking players to shut them down. Cabby, though, on B side does need a little bit of help. Throws a molly. It is going to be late, though. Smoke up. Needs the rotations to come in quick. He is small, flashed off. So is his opponent. It is going to be Corey cleaning up that side. But look at that. Rals and Bird from Sky chime in from the side. Coolio gets shot from below the grates. And the last man standing is Fleeve, who has to go down below and face up against Bird from Sky. It is going to be Bird from Sky winning it, and 13-10, LYNGBY Vikings finally waking up, but there's still a full buy round for Budapest 5 to come through. And we have ourselves another pause.
Yeah, tactical pause. History somewhat repeating itself here. Budapest 5 robbed previously. And we're looking solid. The LYNGBY Vikings have really found their groove. It's returned back to their winning ways that they had so early on into this game. And now Budapest 5 have got to change something up and change it up quickly. This is kind of the last round that they'll have a comfortable buy-in, particularly without bomb plants, which is not always a sure factor coming into these rounds. So I appreciate the timing, the urgency of that pause. And now we will see them put it into action.
Again, a round where everything comes very close, but just not enough to shut them down. Quick peek from Twinks does not connect the shot. That's unfortunate. Could have given them a massive advantage here. They do need to be careful of a possible boost. It worked before. Could work again. It is going to be Coolio versus Twinks. But Coolio walks right into the angle of Twinks, and Twinks shuts him down with Yop. And it is looking like it's going to be a quick execute coming through. Twinks with the op still on site is going to be a nice trade-off coming through. Couple of kills in for Budapest 5, but it is a 2-on-3 situation, and they still need to get the bomb planted because it is stuck on site. Disciples playing around fold.
Playing with fire, he is.
Yeah. Oh. Disciples just walks through. Bird from Sky trying to go for Fleeve. Out of bullets. Will lose his life. Torzi. Sorry, Cabby does get rid of Fleeve, but it is Torzi. He knows where the last player is standing, and Torzi actually turns around. I didn't hear if that was an op shot sounded or if he just got spooked by the flash, but that is LYNGBY Vikings taking round number 24, 14-10. That massive pause that they have had definitely helped them wake up.
Much closer. Much closer. But certainly a shock to the system with that previous round.
Budapest 5, they're going to go for the mid-rush. They have very little weaponry in general, so they're going to try and go for the Hail Mary play. Close range, Gabby and Rals both chime in with a kill. Deagle from Torzi. Oh, he should have had Twinks right there. They got
I feel like no harm, no foul, though. Like, the round seemed to be over anyway. Cabby on the B-bomb site finds himself a triple. So it would have been damage at best. Don't really think it would have given them the round overall. Another poor buy coming into this one here, DK Truman. So really not looking too good. 5 in a row required. It starts with this lack of utility, right? Couple Galils. I think Coolio is on a pistol, judging by the fact that, you know, the HUD showing his knife and not a rifle there. Yeah, he is indeed. The Deagle, of course. So, not looking great. However, Torzi to open up. First time in a little while they've had an advantage here, and see if they can make something of it. 1:35 left on the clock. Slowly starting to creep up as they've gained ramp control with nothing but a frag. Not having to expend any utility. Key kill coming in for Fleeve. This is going to make a difference. Bird from Sky has got to go. Massive, great flash coming in for him. He's able to find the frag, but he's now somewhat trapped. Another great flash as Bird from Sky is being set up fantastically for these frags. And still alive. They can't get the bomb down while he's still alive. They have to deal with him. And he is just so slippery in through the smoke, in behind them, buying time for his teammates to come in. They're not quite as successful as him in terms of finding the frags, and he does eventually go down. As fate may have it, Rawls has to stand and find the 1 versus 3. Gets the first. Remaining 2 players are pretty low here. But definitely doable for him. But he too is on 14 HP, and they've got plenty of time to just keep faking the bomb plant, making him peek. Oh, shoulder peek pays off eventually. It's only his head showing, really, but that's what Corey finds. 11th round for Budapest 5. 4 more to go for the overtime.
He's even going for the little BM shot to the face with the spray. Dominance right there. But, yeah, this was... unfortunate that they lost Twinks at the start, but Bird from Sky, he really was juking around in that smoke. Had to unfortunately reload his M4, otherwise he would have been able to reposition himself better there. But massive play coming out from him. Unfortunately, not enough to keep his team, well, to get his team that victory on the map just yet. We do have some aggression coming out from Twinks. He's gonna peek, it seems, towards Fold, but it does look like a heavy aggressive move towards either mid or B is going to be their plan again, where they're going to face up against Cabby. They do have a quick flanker from rotator from in Bird from Sky from mid. However, he has a Deagle. Cabby a little bit late again on the molly, a little bit too late. The flash comes out. I think they know where he is. Yep, they definitely do know. They give a call, and Corey cleans up Cabby. Now Bird from Sky with the Deagle close range. Is he going to be able to get a tag or a kill? No, he's not. And Twinks drops the op as well. Raul's the last man standing, and that means he just needs... I think he's going to try and save the op. Oh, no, he's not? Oh, okay. The op is very close to him, though, and it is very crucial to get Twinks on that op. But just
I think he thinks it's like a flanker or something. Right, so he's not quite confident enough to go for it, I guess. But look, man, they're pulling it back here. This is looking good for Budapest 5. That is for sure. They're really, really picking up the pace and taking down all the players. No one's saving at all. Just 3 more to go. Fleeve putting in a shift there in that round. See whether they can continue it. It's looking good. Should be able to pick up this one. So bring it within 2. I would imagine we're going to see a pause coming out. A full eco coming out, sorry, from LYNGBY Vikings. We do see a pause coming out from the Budapest 5. So I also respect that. They're on the comeback, but of course not yet in the lead. And just taking a moment to work out the next few rounds, particularly the next rifle round.
Yeah, this is looking very much like OT, OT, OT. On the first map, that's going to be a long series. Well, actually, to be fair, I do expect that the other 2 maps are going to be pretty strong for Budapest 5, especially Train, where LYNGBY Vikings have had a pretty poor performance. However, the question is Budapest 5 going to be able to take this to OT? I mean, I've seen so many games where this is the moment where the only USP lineup actually manages to win. They're going to push quick, and Budapest 5 have no flanking defense currently. Ooh.
Yeah, easy cleanups there, as to be expected, really. Solid stuff.
They went quick towards A. Heard
Yeah,
the
14
steps,
points of damage.
them.
Yeah, I think so, right? Like, it was just kind of a rush on rush with that one player at the back end. They tried to find what they could on the LYNGBY Vikings side, but nothing really coming. Look, when you're at this point in the game, it's very late on. Those types of rounds, you don't really want to take any risky economic decisions. And then just rushing in. And kind of throwing it away, hoping you do some damage, of course, but the round itself, you know, is probably not going to happen. Very slim chance that it does. And it all comes down to this, really. I feel like if LYNGBY Vikings lose this one, the buy into the next will be dire. Should have 2,400 coming in, but all the same. Actually, no, I think it'd be 2,900 coming in for them. Hard to keep up with the loss bonus, of course, when we can't access that scoreboard all the time. But you got to try. You got to do the mental maths every now and then. It's very risky. It is very risky, but I'm pretty sure it's 2,900. That's my final answer. Lock it in. Rolls. His position now known thanks to that smoke. Able to stay behind the sandbags, though, and stay safe. Gonna need some help here in the form of a flash, in the form of a boost, apparently. Oh, beautiful. Maybe waiting for a little more, but he just takes what he can get there. Fantastic stuff for Twinks as Corey goes down easily. However, second time around, there's no smoke for Rolls now. He will fall. So it's even back up into a 4-on-4 very quickly.
They tried to go for another boost. Sneaky. But yeah, they're going to get aggressive towards fold. And bo3 walks through the smoke, gets spotted out, cleaned up. Oh, this might actually go wrong for Budapest 5 right there. Spray down, Fleeve almost gets taken out. Coolio gets rid of Typos. But they know that there's one more in fold. Look at the HP. How does he duck under those bullets? Stays alive, Twinks peeks in. It's going to be a 2-on-2. Last man standing, Fleeve. He's down to 16 HP. An AK and a Dream. Just 2 headshots is all he needs. And they have... Do they know where he's going really far around?
Sneaky. Very sneaky.
They don't have a kit on them.
They're kind of ready for it. Oh, but Cabby doesn't find him. What's happened there? What has happened there? That flick is insane from Fleeve. And now it suddenly looks doable. The tap comes in. His head spotted. Fleeve trying to hide away. Is there going to be enough time? There isn't. Twinx. He can't get it in. He finds a kit, but it's too little too late. And he keeps them alive somehow. Fleeve with that insane flick keeps them alive. 4K from Twinks, and they can't get it done. This is crazy.
But how does he not spot him at ramp? He was looking right at him, and it took him like a solid 2 seconds to realize, hey, that's a T-head. Oh, that was, I mean, it was an insane flick, but it was a little bit on the late side right there with both of them actually realizing too late that the opponent was standing in plain sight. And now it's all on the last round for LYNGBY Vikings. Can they make this a victory before it hits the OT? There's going to be a quick push coming through. Spray down coming in, but Twinks is only going to get one. They do have a decent A defense, but there's still a flanker going towards mid. In the meantime, Bird from Sky with the deagle. He needs some heavy shots, needs some help from his teammates. Bird from Sky is dropping dead, and Typos and Cabby chime in. That's going to be a 2-on-2 situation. A flanker. No, he's actually going to drop the flank and run towards a ramp. And now it's Fleeve and Georgi on the last to take the bomb. Do they have the bomb control? No, it's actually stuck on site.
Oh,
so they
God.
are forced to go towards the A site. And that means LYNGBY Vikings can just defend it. Toss of smoke, spots out Cabby, but Fleeve wins that duel. Typos with the SMG in hand. Gonna stay inside the smoke where the bomb is at the moment and hope that someone is gonna try and pick it up, but they're just playing the safe game. Typos, yeah, he's gonna hide in the cubby. Gonna be pretty tough against the AK and Op to win that fight. If they get close enough, he might actually have a solid advantage. He does spot them both out, gets one kill. Dorsey with the Op in hand. He's gonna swap to the pistol. Dorsey's gonna lose, and LYNGBY Vikings take map number 1. Finally, they did go the full run, but they managed to take down Budapest 5 with a very exhilarating finish. This was a toughie.
Wild ride, like the whole way through. We have an incredibly strong start from LYNGBY Vikings. Super dominant stuff, super dominant, right? It's not only the fact that they picked up like 7-8 rounds in a row, but the way in which they were doing it. And, you know, back of my mind, I'm sure back of your mind, you're like, wow, okay, Budapest 5 just really not come to play today. This is going to be over quickly, I guess. And then towards the end, able to pull it back, but still only an 11-4 first half. And then that T side from Budapest 5 was so strong, so strong. But LYNGBY Vikings, multiple times when their lead was under threat, when it looked like this is the round, right, that they need to be winning, their money's not looking good, they were able to do it. The pressure actually allowed them to perform a bit better, I suppose. And then in the end, able to take it over the line with an incredible 1 versus 2 clutch. So like you say, I feel like Budapest 5, although not their map pick, although maybe not expected to win it here, will be disappointed that they can't take it away from their opponents.
Yeah, and this does give a nice little bit of hope for LYNGBY Vikings in the next 2 maps to come. Possibly. They could also just shut it down in Train, of course. We'll see if they have some nice strats after the break. We'll see you guys after these messages.
Nice shot. Lock and load. Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Damn! That was one of the best pickle fights I've been to.
Welcome back, everybody, to Malta Vibes, of course, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. We are getting ready for the second map here. The players raring to go by the looks of things, so hopefully we should be in there quickly. Budapest 5 hopefully have had enough time to mull over the loss of the first map, 16-14, robbed in the end. A really great comeback from them on their T side, but they weren't able to get it done in the end. Moving into train, we'd handed this one to Budapest 5, but it all does depend on the day. You never know. LYNGBY Vikings may have done some work on this one in the time in between that they've had here since the last Malta Vibes Cup and everything. And as well, Budapest 5, if they haven't bounced back, it could be a very, very difficult time on train mentally for them to get themselves in this map.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough first map, indeed, both teams. I mean, we are getting to the later stages of the day, so they are getting a little bit more tired, but as we've just been told, the knife round has started, so let's get right into it, because the CT side is a must-have on this map as well.
Absolutely. It just eases some of that pressure. I would imagine, to be honest, I didn't get to watch it, but part of the issue for LYNGBY Vikings the last time they played, I would have thought would come down to the fact that they don't have that T-side prepared, and it's very easy to get rolled over. It was 16-7 to Budapest 5 last time they played, so maybe they've learned some lessons. Time will tell, but as you say, the knife round definitely, well, good to get. It's not going to happen for them, though, so starting on this T side, they will have to have worked on the game plan. They are going to have to be prepared here. It's going to be very difficult to get through, but it can very quickly spiral out of control on this T side. I think if you just hit the brick wall and nothing seems to be working for you, so I'm hedging my bets here. I feel like Budapest 5 might be able to come in all guns blazing and just shut them down quickly like they did last time.
Yeah, it is as so, and our wonderful sponsor partner at LootBet thinks the exact same thing will happen. Budapest 5 1.31 odds. They believe in that statistic. We'll see if that statistic is going to be correct. Of course, Budapest 5 starting on the favored side, the CT. It does have a tendency to be very CT-sided. Some teams like the T side a little bit more. One of the teams that always came to mind back in the day would have been Virtus Pro and G2. Very good on the even old school Navi with Zeus. Very good and strong on those late game executes to flush out the entire site. But here we have Corey getting himself the first frag over the second map. Coolio running through the lines and gets caught in the end. LYNGBY Vikings, they start off nicely with only 2 players standing, Torzy and Flav. The smoke is actually going to make sure that they have to check too many angles by typos, and they're being cornered all the way back. They can't even go for the bomb defuse anymore. They're going to save their body armor and disengage to fight another day.
Well, there you have it. A nice opener coming in. However, not able to convert it into anything substantial, just getting overwhelmed by the Glocks. I do kind of feel from time to time, particularly towards that B-bomb site and having a lack of utility on the CT side of things, I do feel that it can be a bit T-sided. Like if they get there in good time and they're able to overwhelm you, it's like if you miss 1 or 2 shots or you've just picked the wrong spot, as we saw in that round, you get overwhelmed, and then there's nothing you can do once the Glocks close the gap, and there's a massive train of them. You need to heavily defy the odds and have an incredible 2-3 quick headshots, right? Which is very hard to do. A bit of money at the end earned there with a couple kills coming in. We'll see Fleeve move to a Famus here, as well as 3 scouts. These weapons are absolutely deadly on this map, particularly the outside bomb site, and that's where they're headed to. Look at this already. 3 tags landing, frag coming in. They will trade it back, but 32 HP and 29 HP for Typos and Cabby respectively is not fantastic. And the FAMAS still in play. Coolio through the smoke will take down Ralls. That drops the bomb. Buys a lot of time for the CTs to work with. It's an absolute mess from the LYNGBY Vikings. They have been overwhelmed. They have been written off. As the only one remaining will be Typos on that 30 HP, thanks to, once again, the 3 scouts getting the early tags. Not looking too good for him. And he will indeed drop to Corey, who gets himself a 3K on the scout. Perfect round from Budapest 5.
Yeah, on these long-range corridors, you really need to smoke off every and flash off every possible angle so that they don't play that long-range game. I mean, there are not a lot of maps where the triple scout can work. This is one of them. This is actually probably only Dust 2, I would say, would be the other map that 3 scouts would be advantageous against a T side push. And yeah, they definitely do hit those shots. Body shot is needed, and then 1 pistol hit to finish it off, and a force buy coming out from LYNGBY Vikings because they don't want to lose that possible advantage. If they shut down Budapest 5 here, they have well, they'll be forcing Budapest 5 into a force buy as well. Pretty much just waiting for the flash to fly over, so that he can start peeking wide. Oh my god, they just no each other.
Oh! How?
The save from Typo's coming in as well. How did he just get that close? Oh no, Corey, why are you walking over here? They just swarm the site all of a sudden. All out of position. The trays get turned around, and they know where the last player is. The bomb gets dropped. Luckily, Coolio keeps his head exactly that. Cool, calm, and collected, and shuts him down to secure his team the second round. What a chaotic round, Scriv.
Yeah, that's a crazy one, to be honest. So many missed opportunities and questionable plays coming in from Budapest 5, and yet able to get it over the line. They do so with only 1 player, though. And it's lovely to see. Coolio, like you say, fantastic stuff, not panicking like the rest of his teammates, and able to get it done nice and simple, but it does cost them in a big way. They're able to comfortably buy back into this one, a half buy coming in from the LYNGBY Vikings at an attempt to get the bomb plant. But it's moving into the future where this cost might come back to bite them, however, denying any frags, any semblance of control here for the T side. He says Bird from Sky does manage to get 1, but ultimately a perfect round for Budapest 5 once again, denying the plant away and not losing too many players. This is where, however, yeah, you see the cost of things. Torzi's on the AWP, but it could have been much cheaper and much cleaner. It costs him all his cash. They do have a good buy, don't get me wrong, and I am being a little negative about it, but honestly, like, it affects the game so much at the moment, the way that the economy is. Like, you have to be getting these early rounds cleanly, and just not quite able to do so. Budapest 5, though, going to be happy with the fact that they've bounced back and they have got themselves a nice little lead to work with.
Gonna see Twinks versus Torzi, the op battle, and Torzi actually reigns supreme in the Ivy position. Very deep smoke they jump through, and that's gonna be already 2 kills for Budapest 5, 30 seconds into the round. Problematic. They are gonna double up on Ivy to try and catch out Torzi. You want to shut down the opera as soon as possible, but you could also just completely choose to dodge him. I guess they're gonna jump aside, past, force him off the angle. We'll just smoke it off and make sure that they'll not go for the push themselves. Typos secures that op. They're gonna go for a little boost, but it does not seem that he wants to re-peek into it. Falls back towards Red Train, and is just gonna play the long-range angles. In the meantime, in the B site, the fake is coming out from Bird from Sky, pulling 3 CTs all the way over, and that gives a solid chance for LYNGBY Vikings if they respond quick enough to go towards that A site. Okay. Actually, Bird from Sky is falling in the fact that B site is clear. And there is 1 on upper, which might go unnoticed here. Oh, Bird from Sky is crawling further and further. Coolio on top of the train, jumping around, making noise. Bird from Sky will spot him out, but Coolio wins that duel, and the last man with the big green gun on site does get 1. Jumps to the other side, but right behind him is Bodito Papito, and he shuts down Typos to boot.
Very well done indeed on the retake. It did look a little dicey there, didn't it? I feel LYNGBY Vikings, just performance-wise, should have won some of those fights. will be kicking themselves in a sense.
They did get the bomb plant though, so they could buy themselves a couple of AKs and 3 Galils, 2 AKs, a decent amount of utility. If they go for an aggressive play, they might swarm Budapest 5.
Interesting to see. Yeah, I don't know whether I'm a massive fan of this. I feel like maybe a half buy and then a secure full buy in the next would have been a better choice, but we'll see. It is a bit risky to come in with 3 Galils and stringy utility, you know, the bare minimum utility in this round. If they've got an idea, if they've got something in the back pocket, credit to them. We'll see how it goes. An early chunk onto Typos not going to be the best result, and Torzi not missing his shots. They're not fast enough on the swing, not respecting him at all as he gets a second. The flash and moving ahead of it, ill-advised. Bomber's now being dropped. I'm not sure whether he recognizes it, but he's got a bit of a free pass to hold on to that bomb. Does actually drop down from Cloud. However, 2 frags already, decent enough result. Rotations coming in, the rain of fire over the top from the CT side is enough to keep them at bay. And just as you see, force Twinks and the rest of the boys in some awkward spots. Yeah, through the smoke damage coming in, they kind of know where he's at, right? Does manage to win the fight against 1, but all in vain, to be honest. Rolls has got the bomb. He's going to try and find the gotcha play on the A-bomb site. Might be able to get a plant in. The round itself surely over, though, unless he pulls off something incredible, and it would have to be insane. It would have to be not before seen. And, well, there you are. Fleeve going to shut it down before it even begins. I try and big him up as best I can, but not much coming. Budapest 5 in with their 5th. This is a bit more what we expected. The start with the pistol, good for the LYNGBY Vikings, but since then, they have looked a little lost.
Yeah, this, well, we did talk about the fact that they definitely needed to win the previous round and the previous map, and this is the reason why they are 5-1 behind, and not really a lot of redeeming factors here. It's almost like it's the first map, but then in favor of LYNGBY Vikings, how much they're being crushed. It's a tough game in general, especially starting off on the T side and being a lot weaker on the T side. They're going to try and swarm Fleeve. Does he get a kill? No, he does not. That's going to be the op dropped. Rushing further forward. Torzi, however, is not going to miss that shot. Luckily enough, there's Corey close by to chime in as well and make it a 2 versus 4 situation, favoring, of course, Budapest 5. And Cabby, does he get that deep shot? Needs the headshot, but will not be able to gain it just yet. Jiggle Peak spamming. Twinks is down to 5 HP. Not a lot they can do. Torzi even gets that kill secured, and Bodito will rain hell from above to secure round number 6. What is gonna be the plan here, Scriv, for LYNGBY Vikings to recover?
Well, I feel like a pause may be required. It's early doors, and they probably have a bit more belief in their CT side, I would have thought. Kind of simpler for them to approach. But all the same, you need to have some kind of a T side built up, some kind of a buffer built up before you move into that second half, right? We'll see here, though. They're looking better on this buy. Kind of confident in themselves with some of the previous buys they've had out, right? I just think the theory, the methodology is not terrible. Okay, what has happened there? And that really sums up the point I was going to make. Couldn't even get the words out. I was going to say the execution is not that good. And Cabby just, yeah, proving my point for me, to be honest. 5 on 4. The wildest. He panicked so hard. And just a free push coming in for Bodito. Like, he's able to walk in. There's no utility used to get that. And he shoots a player in the back. And he's not traded. And he gets full control of, like, full comfortable control of T-Con. This is absolutely mad. LYNGBY Vikings, maybe their methodology is a little messed up. Maybe I was a bit too nice to them. This is really messy.
I'm actually wondering one thing. Was he meant to jump there, or did he accidentally misjump or something? Because he jumped down,
mate,
with a molly in his hand.
Yeah, I feel like it was a mistake for sure. Like, he just saw the guy when he was checking and then panicked and was like, oh, I'm dead. Oh, what's going on? And he just fell down, you know, wild. Absolutely wild. He's getting his head on his shoulders straight, you know what I mean? Like our guy Coolio, who's just the best B anchor on the map. I suppose he's the only one, but, you know, he's the best B anchor he's been for a while. And the AWP's solid, right? Everything's going well, really well for Budapest 5. Meanwhile, LYNGBY Vikings, even making stupid mistakes. Those opening 2 frags just come off the back of, like, internal mistakes of their own. It's not like they've been misread. It's not like they've been outplayed. It's like, look, you gotta expect a guy walking in. Why are you walking away with your back turned? Just walk backwards. You know, look at the angle and walk backwards. It just seems wild to me. This is, yeah. I think this might end up being a lot more one-sided than the first map, and I don't know whether LYNGBY Vikings will be able to get that proverbial foot back in the door.
Oh, Coolio, the B anchor. Let's see, he's up against P250s and Glocks mainly. Does see them all run past him and is going to rain hell down from above again. No. That simple. No. I want to plat. No. And they all get super aggressive because they can't be in B-hole, so they have to be somewhere along the lines. The bomb now finally does go down. Will they be able to at least get a kill? Yes, they do. Rouse secures a 1 for his team, but that is going to be all that. They did get the bomb plant in, but with the amount of money that they managed to save on LYNGBY Vikings, they didn't... I mean, the extra bomb plant's always nice, but they already had a full buy and then some on LYNGBY Vikings, so they should at least have 2 buys coming in back-to-back if they lose this one.
Yeah, finances aren't really the issue right now, to be honest. I think they just need to make something happen with the rifles. Of course, Hellcase. Fancy seeing you here, guys. We've got them 2 codes for you guys if maybe you're feeling like you don't got no financial issues either. Malta V 15. The action's real fast in this one, so I can't give the end of it. We've got Bodito and Torzi coming in with 2 quick kills. LYNGBY Vikings angry, wanting to move into the A site as quickly as possible, and they are denied heavily, quickly, easily by Budapest 5. And it looks like a 9th will come off the back of it. I don't know, man. The same, well, maybe not the same, but they are changing things up slightly with a bit more pace, and it just doesn't work. They look so uncomfortable on this T side, like wildly uncomfortable.
Well, maybe they'll be able to turn it around on their CT side. This flash in play does not seem to work out. Unfortunately, Corey flashes his own teammate, who turned his back to him, so Corey at least got an assist. But yeah, this does give an opening for LYNGBY Vikings to make something happen. 2 coming out from Ivy, though their angle is being checked. Peek in, comes through, and Fleeve still wins that duel against Twinks. Bomb gets dropped on the site. Rouse versus Corey. Rouse does not hit a single bullet onto Corey. And even when Corey is not paying attention, he still managed to win that duel. Cabby chimes in and will take down Corey finally, but the long-range fight is going to be victorious for Fleeve, and that is going to be 9-1. Luckily, LYNGBY Vikings have enough for another buy coming through, but I mean, that is not really lucky anymore. Like, yay, they've got money. Will they be able to make it work?
Yeah, we've asked the same kind of question before. Kind of need to at this point. It's getting into the realms of impossibility, regardless of how good their CT side is, unless it's that 1 in a million, right?
I mean,
Again,
we did
mentioned it before, right? You know, that they need to build up a buffer here.
We did just see a very good first game as well, where it got incredibly close after a massive stomp in the beginning. So look at this connector. Oh, when's the smoke gonna dissipate? Who's gonna win that duel? Cabby is distracting Corey. Loses the fight against Bird from Sky, and the Bird will fly away. They do know that it's not going to be a B push on the side of LYNGBY Vikings, because the position that Fleeve is standing, he has the op towards And he takes down Bird from the sky, with Bodito taking down Rowls, but Bodito gets traded by Twinks, and it's going to be a 3-on-3. Coolio with his back turned towards Twinks does fall back, is actually going to push in aggressively towards T-Main. And Coolio versus Cabby. This is going to be a pretty interesting duel between the two sides. I am wondering why Torzy was actually rotating towards the B side, turns his back towards Old Bomb, loses his life, and this might finally be another round for LYNGBY Vikings, unless Cleve, of course, goes big, but it's not going to be possible with Twinks aiming right at him. So finally, LYNGBY Vikings get themselves a second round. However, like you saw on the B tunnels, that Fleeve was pushing forward with the op inside brown halls. And still, Torzy decided that he needed to rotate towards B to check out if there was anyone pushing, while his teammate was already past any point that they could be pushing.
A little strong, a little strange. LYNGBY Vikings, though, able to get it over the line in the end, and I think that's what they're happy about ultimately. See whether they're able to continue the trend. I'm sure they'd love to, right? A deja vu moment, right? They are the Budapest 5 in this situation, where it was, of course, Vertigo that Budapest 5 were able to pull things back incredibly close. They would like to take it over the line in the end, but that is easier said than done at this point. Meanwhile, Budapest 5, ball in their court. Can they shut things down before they even begin here? Slower start, bit of presence at Ivy. Okay, Fleeve with a nice one onto Bird from Sky. 5-on-4. Just like that. There you go. Budapest 5 finding the opener.
And, well, they do have a little bit of money on LYNGBY Vikings. Enough money on Budapest 5 for the next round anyway. And with the positioning coming out, Molly towards Olaf. Torzy does spot a player out on top of blue. Typos is very low in HP, though. Does need to be careful. Potito is trying to dodge the flashes coming through. Dodges him perfectly towards white box. Gets one, sprays it towards the other, but loses that one. It's going to be a 3-on-3. But Fleeve does not lose against Twinks. Tries to peek out wide through the molly. Is going to lose his life. Torzy and Coolio both coming from the Ivy area. Will they expect this? A double spray down from Gabby. Holds the line. Defends the bomb. And LYNGBY Vikings, they've had enough. They're going to take round number 3.
Wow. That's much, much better from them. I'm pretty impressed with it. See whether it continues. As we move into round number 13. Budapest 5. Money starting to dwindle now. Double up setup in play. LYNGBY Vikings. I love this approach of going fast somewhere early on. Perhaps to bait out utility. Perhaps to just make Budapest 5 worry. Make them shake a little. That's where the hit might come in. Maybe they over-rotate. Maybe they get too aggressive. However, this time, working out massively. Double up setup, man. It seems to be the real issue for the LYNGBY Vikings. It comes out in full force into this round. One apiece. Solid openers. Oh, Bird from Sky almost getting taken down as well. Corey is pushed away, but it costs a fair chunk of HP to the T-side player trying to make Hot Dog work. He will, however, get the catch onto Corey, who was not expecting him so quickly. That's the first frag back for LYNGBY Vikings. Is it going to be enough? Can they get some more? These are all the questions that we're asking. Budapest 5 hoping to shut them down.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but they still have to walk into Torzy's op. I mean, both ops are actually on the same side, with Coolio playing up in heaven, which is most of the time. Oh, sorry, it was Bodito. Coolio is still chilling at that B bomb side. Bomb gets dropped. Peek out wide is going to whip Torzy. Falls. Nice spray down from Typos to claim 2 lives. And the rotation coming in from Coolio. Flank. Fleeve is holding that site. What a flick coming out from Fleeve to shut down Typus, and now it's all on Twinks. Can he clutch this one out? No, he cannot. Fleeve gets himself 3 kills in that round, and the 2 Oppers get all 5 frags to boot. Budapest 5 break double digits and are in a nice little run, especially with LYNGBY Vikings down to pretty weak buys. Especially utility-wise, they're going to jump over to 3 Galils. Decent utility, but the fact that they have to jump over to Galils is pretty painful because from all the rifles out there, I definitely, like, that spray becomes completely unnatural at one point.
Yeah, really not playing well against this double up setup, are they? I mean, it's not completely out of control yet. 5 rounds would certainly be a good marker to hit. Benito, though, perfect peak for the double. Absolutely wonderful timing. Corey will find another. And the 5 versus 2. Trying to big them up for the 5 that they could possibly get. It now looks like 4 is the best they can hope for on the LYNGBY Vikings side. We may well see that repeat. We may well see Budapest 5 go one better than their opponents on their CT side. Twinks does chime in with 1, but the bomb dropped there, and they know exactly where Twinks is at. He's getting flanked out. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication there. Not quite sure.
Must have been a miscommunication. How could you not? He was right behind him.
Yeah, maybe he just... I mean, there's 4 players to find, right? Like, it's fair. If it was a 1v2 and they threw that away, we go mad. But I guess he's just unsure of if he's going to get peeked from behind or in front or whatever. It's kind of a situation where what can you do, right?
Yeah, he was pretty much stuck, surrounded anyway, but Budito getting a big 4K. And yeah, let's look at the scores. Who is really falling behind? Ral's 3-1 and 14. I mean, you can't really blame anyone on it. Like, they're all failing at the moment on LYNGBY Vikings and Budapest 5. Every one of them is fragging like a god. The only one that is, you know, below the double digits is Coolio, but that's because he's the B defense, and as you see, he's only on 4 deaths. So that means they've just not hit the B side as much. But Torzy is again popping off, so is Flav. Both Oppers. I mean, this long range map, it is perfect op territory for the 2 squads. 5 Mac 10s and a dream, because this is going to come down to a pretty close in your face Ivy rush, it seems. Fleeve already starts off by killing off Typos, drops the molly, and they're going to run through the molly, but Fleeve, he's not going to lose that duel just yet. Next one, oh, triple kill coming out. They're going to go for the bomb plan towards B. Torzy misses the shot. Onto site. Bird from Sky goes. Bird from Sky is actually already towards Oil, and he's going to completely rush down Torzy, but Torzy swaps towards the Deagle. And now Scabby all on his lonesome. Jack 9 Meister does kill off Bodito, but it doesn't matter at all. 12-3, and I mean, we can probably already head over towards Nuke.
Yeah, kind of looking that way, right? Unless we see an insane comeback. I mean, we did kind of say that at the turn of the first half on Vertigo. We nearly did, right? 16-14 after an 11-4 half. You don't believe it. Of course, LootBet, the odds, summing it up. Heavily in support of Budapest 5 going into their T side. And from what we've seen, the thing is as well, it's like there was a bit of a comeback from Budapest 5. They actually start to gain some energy towards that at the end of the first half. And LYNGBY Vikings get a bit, but they looked so lost. Like, there was a lot of not just, wow, this is Budapest 5 playing really, really well. Great clutch, great retake, great comeback from a 4v2 or something like that. There was just some rounds where LYNGBY Vikings forgot what they were doing and where they were going. Cabby, though, going to open up here. Spots out a good number of them. Oh, Bird from Sky with a really quick flank up the ladder. Bodito at the very last second. His spidey senses tingling, but he's not able to get the frag. That secures the fact that they're moving towards B as well because he spots the bomb out. Back into a 4 versus 4. Anyone's game at this point. Low HP bars all around the shot. Bird from Sky running in, getting that first bullet accuracy perfectly. However, still being kept even, and they have just rushed towards the A site and will get a free bomb plant.
That is actually pretty remarkable that they managed to go through B towards connector and then plant on the A site because they flanked them. So the flank on the flankers, and now it's all on Cabby and Bird from Sky, both very low in HP. Nearly impossible to succeed, especially without a kit available, and the post plant positions on the side of Budapest 5. At least they get themselves one, but Cabby is one bullet away from dying, and that one is gonna be a headshot to boot for Bodito Papito, and this is 13-3, 10 rounds difference between the two sides. LYNGBY Vikings, are they gonna go for the triple scout setup themselves? No, they're just gonna pick up the one for Twinks. Bit disappointed there.
Yeah, definitely seems like a weird decision to me when we saw the prominence from Budapest 5 of all the scouts. 1-for-1 trade early on generally works out for the T side, particularly in a round like this where they're employing a lot of speed, not a lot of time to recover things in terms of positional advantage. I think a team kill coming in there, that's a bit awkward, and it's actually being pulled back into a 3-on-1. They stack up a bit too heavily, it seems. Oh, Coolio, though, he spots all the heads, none of them looking the right way at all. Finds the first frag. They know where he's at. This MAC-10 going to be hard to lock down. Molly coming in. They're both coming towards him. Finds the head of the burst. Able to play around E-box, but he can't get it done. So damn close. LYNGBY Vikings will pick up their fourth, and they are able to turn the fourth buy into a 1 round. A long road ahead, but they've begun it slightly prematurely than the point we would expect.
They're on an adventure indeed. LYNGBY Vikings, they've got... I mean, they can't lose a round. Like, at this point, it's literally you gotta keep stomping Budapest 5. It is not over till, of course, that final round is secured, but it is going to be a tough one to defend the entire time, because Budapest 5, yes, they did get they got a little bit lucky there that Budapest 5 accidentally killed a teammate. Bird from Sky in Pop, nice smoke. That means that the rotations from Pop are going to be a little bit slower. That's perfect for the teammates. However, Corey's going to win that fight against Rowls. Twinks and Typos do chime in, and a lot of damage has been dealt, but Bodito, okay, gets rid of Bird from Sky. It's going to be a 3-on-3 situation. Corey is down to 3 HP, has the bomb on his back, and is going to fall all the way back. Twinks is getting super aggressive. Might get spotted out. Chunks down Bodito, and a massive kill coming in. I mean, that was... It paid off, but that was really risky, especially with the current situation of how the game was going. If anyone was holding the Pop Dog, that could have cost you the entire round.
Looking good here to clean things up. Low HP bars are easily workable. Enough presence outside. I suppose the Deagle in play. Coolio actually going to find the head of one, but no avail. I suppose it's decent damage done here to the economy, I guess, like you say, but Coolio shouldn't be able to find anything else. Did get a little worried as I was talking about the round as though it was over, right? I definitely saw in my mind's eye Budapest 5 snatching that one away, but not going to be the case here. We will see a few rounds strung together by the LYNGBY Vikings.
And yeah, they're 13-5 favoring Budapest 5, but they are on an eco almost. Are they full eco? Probably a P250 or a Deagle here or there. Does mean that they won't have an op in their buy round with the amount of money that they have left. Corey's just going to rush through. At this point, it's just try and discuss what your plan of attack is going to be in the next round. I would assume run boost past. It's not really going to do too much. Again, it's Glocks. Fleeve is the only one with an upgraded pistol. Is playing. Oh, a lot of damage being dealt to Typos, but luckily there is Rowls joining in the fun. Fleeve takes down Typos, but Rowls swaps over to the USB to win that fight. And Bird from Sky, he wants a little bit of extra cash in the bank, hunting for Torzy, and Torzy. One man, a Glock, and a dream. Oh, gets spotted out. Yes, the rest are gonna just climb up the ladder. Not gonna risk it to drop that M4.
Yeah, kind of slow rounds here, consolation rounds and all that kind of stuff. A little crazy in the previous, but this one nice and easy for LYNGBY Vikings. Not starting to believe just yet. Budapest 5 has still got enough rounds to work with that they should be able to take this over the line. 7 to be exact. So we'll see how things go down in this next rifle round. A bit more time to work with for Budapest 5 than LYNGBY Vikings. Less pressure, you could say, at the moment. That might affect the way that they approach some of these rounds, but I don't know. I feel like they need to shut down the LYNGBY Vikings pretty quickly. This rivalry between these two teams, they've only played a handful of times now, a handful of maps, I should say, but they've all been very hard to predict, very back and forth. Oh, great flash onto Twinks coming through. Corey gets the drop. Fleeve will drop Burst from Sky, and they might just be able to shut things down before they really even begin on the LYNGBY Vikings. Come back. Typos on the edge of the smoke. Almost 2. Not quite. And still an advantage for Budapest 5 to work with.
Yeah, 3-on-2 situation towards Ivy, but Cabby, he's playing close and could get caught out by Coolio in a second. Old Bomb, there's going to be a pretty good fight. Important fight. Dorsey does win that fight. Cabby's going to rush towards Old Bomb, and Coolio should know that something's up. Yeah, inside connect. He's going to peek out wide, but Cabby executes Coolio. And now it's all on Dorsey with the whiffs of the long-range fight, and Cabby clutches it out, gets 3 kills in the round. LYNGBY Vikings, they ain't going down without a fight.
Well, that could be a clutch that we look back to as highly, highly important.
And quickly, Budapest 5 call a tactical timeout because, well, it's slipping, and you need to find a way to make it stop.
Time will tell, man. Time will tell. That could be a key one, right? It's very quick, I would imagine. Comms all over the place in terms of morale, in terms of, wow, we're actually doing this. We should be able to, yeah, 2 easy openers. But this is, yeah, we've done it. We've done it. 14th round, shut them down. The victory will come easily, right? They don't have enough economy built up to work with and whatnot, so should be good to, at the very least, hit the map point, guys. Come on. And I think they just get a bit ahead of themselves, and then a really clean clutch coming in from Cabby, which is somewhat of a mouthful to say, but looks great. And now a half buy from Budapest 5. We'll see what they can get done with it.
This is a decent enough buy that could possibly win a round on Budapest 5. The Eagles, look at this Ivy aggression coming out from Budapest 5. They're just going to wait. Typos is going to run close. He's going to try the exact same thing, but this time it loses his life. Doesn't deal damage to a second either, and they get themselves a FAMAS, not the strongest weapon in the world, but Corey does use it effectively to get rid of Rals, and there's a possibility, but not if Twins has anything to say about it. Coolio wins the duel against Bird from Sky, and it is Coolio with that M4 in hand. He might just go for the long flank plays, try and mess with their minds a little bit, see if he can get anything happening. I mean, he has so many different angles he can go towards too. He's probably going to go, well, would he go all the way towards Ivy? That would be a long rotation, but the bomb is there, so that might give it away, and we do already have Cabby holding that angle. Might even actually save the M4 if he prefers it. But no, he's going to go in, but it is pretty tough with 12 HP to his name. And no flashes, no nothing. Bomb in CT's hands. Don't really see him actually. Yeah, the molly gets tossed, and that's just either save or suicide. And suicide is going to be the answer.
Yeah, he wants his money, it seems, and a little easier of an option, right? They're able to buy into this one anyway. So, kind of makes sense. And I suppose wanting to end the round quickly to get into the next one, I don't know. There's arguments for both, but that's the way it turns out.
Oh, double op coming up from LYNGBY Vikings. That's the first time that they pick up the second op. Let's see if it pays off. It does put them at absolutely barely any money left on LYNGBY Vikings for that aggressive buy. And Torzy's going to get rid of Bird from Sky. Well, the second op buyout does not come in successfully. That is painful. 4.75k gold, money, dollars, moolah just gone out the window. Oh, that is disastrous. He's 821 and
not having a good time.
Yeah, no, that one might bite them in the ass if they manage to lose this one. However, near Pop Dog Cabby, he needs to win a couple of duels. They're going to peek in. Torzy is going to get sprayed through the floor. And they're just going to crawl themselves away. But Twinks is on the biggest flank of his life. Does anyone turn around? Oh my god. They all just walk past each other. They're going to go up the ladder. And Bodito holds the Pop Dog push. Cabby jumps out. Oh no, what's going to happen? Bodito is going to try and go for the dual fight. Coolio walks around the corner, sprays down Cabby. And it is going to be a... Actually, is it? Yeah, the flank coming in from Corey. Coming in from behind. Oh, spots out the B defender. And one tap. Nice. From Corey to take down Rouse. Corey finishes the job there. 14-8. And as we just said, look at that money. It's all gone.
Yeah, dire situation in a lot of different ways. Obviously, Budapest 5 getting closer to the 16. And LYNGBY Vikings have to mount some kind of a defense with very little cash to work with. I feel this is the issue, the underlying issue of not having a strong start. If they'd have gotten the 5 rounds on the T side, they'd have a lot more room to work with here. Their CT side has definitely looked a lot more comfortable as we expected. And the issue with dropping so many rounds initially means that as soon as you make a mistake, you kind of strike back to square one. So it's a tough time. It's a very tough time. I like this aggression coming in, though. It gives them a bit of control and, importantly, information to work with. They've got 2 players ready to boost up Pop Dog fast behind the push here. I think they might even just try and go for it preemptively. Or particularly with Fleeve shooting these windows out.
This could be about to be a godlike flank. Massive stack. Push forward on top. Will they be able to get the job done? Great defense so far. Twinks is going to get sprayed down through the wall. They still have the flankers coming in. Oh, guy just... Both of them double headshot, even though the second one was kind of an iffy headshot. But nonetheless, they do manage to shut them down. I think they should have seen both of the players, though.
I'm not sure, you know. It doesn't look like it, right, from his body language. He's checking all these different angles. So sure that there's someone coming from connector. And it's just not the case. I love this reposition as well. They should be able to win this, honestly. He might go for a safe plan. Don't get me wrong. He makes the noise, goes for the step, yeah, and he's just so confused as to where they're coming from, where they're at, what's going on, what's happening, why is there not a guy from connector, for God's sake. LYNGBY Vikings, though, against the odds, able to pick up that 9th. Still not out of it yet. I really respect Budapest 5 coming into this series, honestly, taking a lot of great pauses in really good places. And I think there are a lot of teams on the come-up that we see, you know, on these online cups that you and I and everybody else covering and watching, and all the people out there watching, as there's a lot of Counter-Strike coming through from Eden Esports and Relog and whatnot. They really need to learn a lesson when it comes to taking timeouts. I think some of the teams, even if it is your map, even if you are confident, even if you are 5 rounds in the lead with only 2 more to go, take a safe pause. You've got 4 of them to work with. There's not really any excuse. Why would you hold on to them? They don't stack up, right? And it can make a bit of a difference. Some teams, I get it, like to play more instinctively and just keep the ball rolling and go for it and not think too much. But after a round like that, where you should be cleaning it up and the game should come alongside it, you need to take a moment. You need to be like, okay, whoa, maybe not quite good enough. Some decent parts in there, but this particular thing that cost us the round can't happen again. Nice aggression coming in, ill-advised, good hold here from the Budapest 5. Really well thought out. I'm not sure if this comes off the back of, you know, figuring in the last round, there was no one here, but they did go for the Ivy aggression last time.
Yeah, they did spray
Budapest
out
5
Ivy.
kind of, yeah, they're kind of picking that back up. I don't think it comes off of they pushed it last time. I think it more comes off of we didn't have any presence in Ivy last round. They were really quickly behind us. That therefore means they must have pushed it, right? So a nice little thought process coming in will earn them their first frag.
But look at this aggressive point from LYNGBY Vikings. They're going to have to fight these players. Do they expect to? Perfect flash coming off. Typo's completely blind. Peeks out wide, but he's going to get shut down by Torzi, and that is going to be problematic. Look at the push. Cabby needs to make some magic happen. He's going to win the duel against Fleeve, and that is going to put it at a possibility here for the side of the LYNGBY Vikings. But with Corey down to 1 HP, they have all three of the players next to each other. They just need to guess the correct bomb site, and they're gonna go out towards A. Twinks and Cabby are both towards the A site to try and defend it. It's gonna be a pretty tough defense coming in. The slow push coming through. He's going past towards Olaf. The bomb is going to get planted. Peeking out wide. It's going to peek red. It's going to be a nice double spray. Does he expect Dorsey to be that close? Dorsey does win the fight. It's going to be a one-on-one, but Cabby shuts him down, and that's going to be 10 rounds for LYNGBY Vikings. They take another one. Oh no, I smell OT. Not again. Not again.
They're not going out without a fight, though. Both of these teams are really commendably fighting back when they seem down and out. In multiple rounds for LYNGBY Vikings, actually. Previous didn't have a great buy. This round, 2v3. Definitely saw that happening, though. They really overlooked the sandwich and the second lane kind of area. I think they needed a player posted on that. Oh. I think we might have a stop here by the looks of things. I'm going to guess Corey. He's the only player that's not moved yet. Oh. Okay, that's a little weird. But I don't think the players are going to argue too much because they'd already called it, I guess. But doing the damage there definitely makes the stop play a little edgy. But it's all good. They called for it anyway. Corey seems to have come back, whatever, lagged out a second there and able to immediately move back in. So we'll just have to restart the round. We won't have to wait, which is fantastic. And no real time for the likes of the LYNGBY Vikings to mull over and let the pressure get to them, you know, and start sweating a bit, which is certainly what can happen in those extended technical pauses when you're on the comeback, when it's close to the end of the game. So no harm, no foul in the end. Just a bit of a restart to make sure everybody's here, everybody's cool. And they are. So let's get into it.
There we go. Budapest 5, they need a lot. Like they need luck right now. That's what they need. They've gotten a lot of rounds close at the moment because their economy is completely intact. Storzy is without armor. They have 3 flashes and a smoke left. There's gonna be a spray from Gabby. Jumps out wide, but he gets shut down by Corey, and the defense has to come through right now. This is pretty tough. Wings just moves off the angle, and that gives the enemies a chance here, but they do get spotted. Bonito is going to get taken down. They're going to try and get close towards the site. They lose a second LYNGBY Vikings player. Rouse is gone, and now it is neck on neck. 3 versus 3. Corey is going to lose the fight, and oh my god! Somehow LYNGBY Vikings, they're turning this around and again managed to get the bomb defuse and win another one. 14-11 this round. Oh my god, this game is getting way too close.
Insane. Insane. LYNGBY Vikings, man. It could have been a very different story if they started on the T side. On the CT side, sorry. Like, I don't know. Work on your T side and you've got some potential here. You've got some potential. Train is a map that I don't think they've worked on. They just kind of play it when they have to, and the stats really do show that. But it's not terrible on the CT side. Some solid retakes, performing well under pressure, individuals stepping up, particularly Cabby. Kind of begs the question, if only you can find yourself a 5-6 round T side, you'd be a lot happier, a lot more room to work with then. Another pause coming in from Budapest 5, though. Again, massively commendable.
I mean, they gotta be stressing right now. I would be really stressing because, you know, you could smell it. You're one map behind. You thought that this was an easy shutdown, which on paper it should be. Last time it definitely was with, I think, 16-7, as you previously mentioned. So, LYNGBY Vikings coming back as powerful as they are is pretty damn tough to deal with. They are going to go for a semi-buy and see if they can get any magic happening. Well, the semi-buy is still an AK, a couple of deagles and a scout. Let's see if bo3 will be able to use that scout accordingly.
All right, here we go. Gonna have to fend off against Budapest 5 Classic here. Great frag from Corey to open us up. Oh, and it's worked perfectly. Oh, Gavin's still around. He hears them coming. Needed to find those. Needed to be cooler. I feel like holding mouse 1 there. Not the best choice. He had the drop on them. Could have just bish bash bosh, right? You know, find the heads. At least get 2. That's going to make a massive difference. And a great little play, making it look like a rush. Just a small lapse in judgment from LYNGBY Vikings may well have lost them the round. bo3 going to find the head of Twinks. Here we go, looking better and better. Coolio up close, will get taken down. There's no utility to go down onto the bomb there. Quick jump up from Typos to take down bo3. Beautifully done. Fleeve, though, quick damage coming in onto the first. The hold from Typos. He's going to go for the peak. Surely he will eventually, and he finds the frag. Budapest 5 finally get the 15th on the board. It is hard fought. It takes them a while, but they will get it done. And LYNGBY Vikings baited out, caught off. Cabby panics on high. And they lose it. They lose it. They let it slip.
That round was, I mean, we just complimented Cabby for his excellent performance, but that round right there, that was so completely his. He should have had them right there.
A panic spray down, right? Like crazy.
Yeah, that was absolute chaos in his mind right there. And now LYNGBY Vikings, they don't have a very healthy buy anymore. They've got two deagles, a scout, a FAMAS, and a M4, and no kit on a single player. They're gonna jump through, run boost. Horsey takes down Typos, and they have the massive aggression towards Ivy. Rouse is down to 6 HP. The double nade coming through is going to peek in, but he takes him down. It's going to be problematic. Oh no, is this going to be the last round for LYNGBY Vikings on the second map? They came so close. Twinks, he does have a very good position, but Coolio, he smells something up. Long range stabs. Twinks gets a double, but from behind, does he turn wrong? He shuts down Coolio. The triple for Twinks. He's trying to win his team this round. Cabby is on the flank. Do they expect him coming through? Old bomb. This round is not over just yet. What an amazing turn from Twinks. Cabby is going to get taken down by bo3. 12 HP. Twinks, he tried his best, but is it going to be enough? They know exactly where he is. They're going to get the bomb plant, and it's too late for him to move to a different angle. And with the position of Fleeve being in Pop Dog, I don't think Twinks will be able to win this duel. The moment as well, Fleeve is going up top, and that's going to be Fleeve. bo3 shutting it down. No, it's still Fleeve, sorry. 16-11. He tried his best, but with that, you know, they get shut down eventually, and we're going to Nuke next, which is still Budapest 5 favored. Wait, yeah.
Yeah, definitely agreeing with that, to be honest with you. It's a bit of a crazy time in this series. It has been mad. The lights have come on as they are required. We're getting deep into the evening here, of course. The closeness of those two maps really cannot be underestimated. Both teams playing very, very well. However, comebacks not really possible. Heartbreak coming in. And a wild kind of ride. Nuke will be the culmination. I really do not know how this one is going to go down. Budapest 5 definitely favored for them, but the matchup has just been so close between these two teams. Any closing thoughts before we throw across to the break?
No, that was pretty much it. We'll be talking about it in a second anyway, and we'll be back after these messages.
Welcome back, everybody. We are prepped and so excited for this third map, honestly. Like, I am looking forward to it massively. I think this has been a pretty exciting series. I figured Train was going to be a blowout, particularly with the start from Budapest 5, but LYNGBY Vikings putting up a good fight towards the end and making me doubt Nuke, right? We kind of came into this one with the idea of the reverse sweep, much like their previous series a few days ago, being the overall outcome. But I'm not so sure after that little burst of energy towards the end of Train.
Yeah, LYNGBY Vikings looked a lot better on their CT side. So again, this knife round is actually going to be a lot more crucial than in most games, because these two teams, you know, they really prefer one side over the other. That Train, both teams completely struggled on the T side, and Nuke is actually a way more CT sided map than Train is because of the close angles. The only real area that you have a lot of mobility on Nuke would be outside. But that's going to cost you a lot of utility to try and take that as a T. And that's why normally it's going to be like a ramp rush or an A rush. And because the short corridors, you can easily shut that down as a CT if you're paying attention. And
yeah, certainly. I think it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams approach things. Like I've said, last time was pretty damn close. This was the 16-14 and the last time that they played going the way of Budapest 5, but I feel like LYNGBY Vikings, particularly with the Train performance, certainly going to be capable.
Yeah. I did just check out the map statistics that they had, and Budapest 5 prefer the CT side by about 55%. Okay. However, their opponents, LYNGBY Vikings, have a 50-50 between CT and T side rounds. So that is actually pretty interesting that they actually do have a decent stat on the aggressive side.
Yeah, I think definitely the split between sides on this map has become a little... The lines have become a bit more blurred, as it were. So the knife round definitely going to have some impact. It's always nice to start off on the side that you prefer, but as you have noted, even 55%, right, like of the CT side is not a wild amount compared to what we've seen in the past on Nuke and whatnot. So I do feel like the T side's become a little more approachable for teams.
Exactly. It's I mean, remember the old one where you had a catwalk outside? That map was actually very T-sided. I really missed that catwalk. It just made the map so much more dynamic. But yeah, the longer a map lasts, pretty much, the more even it becomes between the two sides, because you get to know more executes and whatnot. That's why when a new map usually gets introduced, aka like Vertigo, it normally does favor one side pretty heavily compared to the other, because you just, for instance, you have the first couple of smokes and nades learned as the T, and you have no idea how to defend it. However, this is going to be a very fast ramp push coming in from Budapest. From Budapest 5. Wait, they won the knife round, right? They want to start on the T? I thought that they won the knife round at least. I might be mistaken there, but Budapest 5, they're going to head in towards that A site. They're going to get the bomb plant in with an aggressive move towards Heaven. No one holding Heaven, and Rals is down, so they have a man advantage coming in from Budapest 5 as well. The tap's coming in, but it's completely cleaned up, and LYNGBY Vikings are going to get shut down. Budapest 5 win the opening round.
Yeah, that is a very curious round for sure. Of course, loot bet. The odds on the screen for you there, folks. We do have the banner down below. Use code Malta. Go straight to their website. You get yourself 10 free spins as well as 100 bonus euros on your first deposit. But yeah, a really weird round. The fact that the bomb goes down with all the players alive. Sometimes does happen on the lower bomb site, to be fair, but very rarely if the T's try and hit the upper bomb site. Okay. Unreasonable from Twinks. Nice early opener coming in for the CTs.
Now you're gonna have to play up against two CTs down below. This might be very dicey for Budapest 5 if they don't shut down those two Deagles quickly. I mean, a random shot through the smoke while he's fading away, that's always like as perfect as can be. Coolio is already pushed towards the vent. Gabby jumps out, climbs up the ladder, and Bird from Sky is there as well. The molly gets tossed out, and Rouse with the deagle is going to try and shut this down. Another man advantage position coming in. Molly gets tossed in. Flav does zone out Typos. It is, however, looking disastrous for Budapest 5. Twinks all the way from CT spawn with that scout long range will manage to turn it into a two-man advantage. Coolio, he needs that bomb, but it is all up top, so he's going to go down through the vents, go towards Secret, and try and flank them from outside. I think they definitely should know that he was somewhere towards A, but will they expect that big flank? It seems Bird from Sky is not aware. Oh, never mind. The outside flank is being checked out by Twinks, and they shut down Coolio, and a very good round coming in from LYNGBY Vikings on their CT side.
Well. The competition, the back and forth nature, it continues. Solid stuff from LYNGBY Vikings. I'm genuinely thinking this is going to be another close affair.
This is looking okay. Bodito does at least get Twinks in return, but they need to get a couple more kills to make this possible. It's still weird to see that Budapest 5, after winning the 9th round, going towards the T side, but they might actually have a plan, and it seems it's working so far. Flav is going to get Bird from Sky with another great frag coming in. 3 versus 3. Flav is a little bit tagged. They have no armor on Torzi or Bodito. Jump down by Typos, giving away his position. Torzi just shuts him down, and another kill. It's going to stay 2 versus 2, but they have the bomb on their back, rushing towards the B site, and they're going to go for the plant with Cabby. They are nowhere in position just right to defend it. Torzi is going to be playing at the double doors area, and peeks it in, falls back towards control, and will actually get stuck on the glass. Gets out in time. 1D coming through, shutting down Cabby, playing the double doors angle. Bodito with the scout, and Budapest 5. Why are these teams so competitive? Take back around from LYNGBY Vikings.
Yeah, this is a messy start once again here. Somewhat what we've come to expect, in all fairness. But still, it is a little wild. See whether it continues. See how long it continues is the main question. And these forced buy wars, the back and forth nature, it kind of, generally speaking, goes the way of the T side usually, just because the CT economy struggles to keep up. But we'll see. Map like Nuke, anything is possible, right? Couple scouts, couple deegs work very well together. The M4, nice to have an automatic weapon in there. Budapest 5 visibly a little shaken to begin with here on Nuke, and not wanting to barrel their way through a round like this. Nice and slow, nice and passive.
Execute. Not risking it at all against the force up from LYNGBY Vikings. They're just gonna go. I mean, full execute is probably the safest thing to do. They have a bunch of mollies and smokes, but they're just gonna run it in straight up. Okay, I would have expected, you know, maybe a molly on blue, because it's always a pain to smoke up heaven. Get a couple of those angles cleared out. Okay, there we go. A little bit of an execute coming out. Spray from Bird from Sky needs a little bit of help, but there on Mustang, they just completely shut them down. Nothing done by Budapest 5, and now Torzi. Oh my god, what is this game? They just force buy against each other constantly, and they get annihilated.
Wow. Wow. Once again, blown away massively. LYNGBY Vikings, against all the odds, able to pull things back. And yeah, like you say, decimation, just so clean. So clean. Some low HP bars started in there, right? So it certainly could have spiraled out of control, I suppose, but it didn't. This is the way it goes down. They also recovered 3 AKs and a MAC-10. So much money made from that, as well as taking the round, as well as the victory bonus, of course. They pick up 4 weapons. So a nice cash injection, 1-tap potential of the AKs. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, not looking too good. We've got a few AKs in play, but mainly Deagles, lack of utility. This is the chance. This is the chance for LYNGBY Vikings, actually, because the buy is really not that great for Budapest 5. But then we've said that a few times in this game, and it seems the team with the better buy ends up losing. So we'll see how it goes. Twinks, no, fails to jump down. Oh, God.
Not the first time that we've seen a mistake on movement in this series. I will never forget that molly, ever.
Yeah, it was a little wild, and it seems it's not being dealt with.
And that gives a man advantage to Budapest. They want to pick up that AK, but luckily there's Bird from Sky to try and defend it. They actually had a 2-man defense towards Secret, making it so that their ramp, they have no one on ramp on the side of LYNGBY Vikings of their heavy rotations, and they're going to fall all the way back. Ramp is under their control, but down towards B control, we have Bird from Sky and Ral's double downing. Spray comes out 2 for 2. Full rifles versus full rifles, but there's still Torzy. He's holding. He's coming in from behind. Do they expect him? Gonna crawl in. Oh, they thought that it was the lower squeak. He's right behind them. They open the double doors, and Gabby gets flanked by Torzy. Great catch coming in from Budapest 5, and my God! Can someone string 2 rounds in a row?
Remains to be seen at this point. It's definitely a little wild. I keep using that word, but I just feel like that's the best way to sum it up. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh, God. LYNGBY Vikings back in with a buy, of course. Scout, 2 M4s. I would imagine 2 Deagles here for Cabby and Typos. Didn't quite catch it, but that to me would make sense. Maybe a 5-7, but at this point we've seen so many Deagles, I don't see why they would change things up. Good amount of utility. No kit. Interesting Typos and Twinks. A bit of money left in the bank. I feel like a kit could have helped them. I guess we've not seen many bomb plants so far, but still, would be nice to just have it in case.
They're just waiting for Budapest 5 to run into the blender again. I mean, they're the exact same positions, if I'm not mistaken. And no, Cabby is now on top of blue. Last round he wasn't. There was no one on blue. But they're gonna need to try and flush them out with their utility, because these close range engagements against these Deagles and whatnot are incredibly painful. Oh, smoke against his face.
Yeah, they kind of know he's there as well. Cabby's got to be careful. Rol's going to find the first, though. 40 seconds left. Looks like it might continue here, to be honest, to get through, but I don't know, man. This is making me worry a little. Making me worry a little for the D side. Typos going to get the victory onto Fleeve as well. Does go down. So at the very least, damage control on that one. This play from Heaven from Torzy as well could be absolutely massive. He's spotted out and he's got Rolls dead to rights. Any more? Does he spot any more? No, he doesn't. So he's going to take his frag. Goodness me. Rolls to turn. Oh, a little spicy, but it's back into a 3 versus 3, and the A-bomb site now very vulnerable indeed. They run into each other. Twinks moving up the ladder, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and it will be when Pete comes through from Mini. 2 of his teammates moving through nice and quick, trying to get the distractionary play, and there it is. The Pete comes in from Heaven. Now Twink surely looks to burst, but he's just clapped out immediately. Bird from Sky, the only one left, and I feel like he's just got to look to save. Sure, all the rounds have been going wild, but not able to get it done. And finally, the team you expect to win does so. Budapest 5 will pick up their 4th.
Yeah, finally it happens. However, at this point, if I was LYNGBY, I'd just keep forcing up. Because they're better with the Deagles than they are with the rifles. Both teams actually are, backs against the wall kind of ordeal. They are going to save, of course, because that is the more responsible thing to do. But it is a lot more fun to watch these ecos just completely, you know, brawl it out to see who's the last man standing.
Yeah, it is always fun, but it can result in a bit of messy Counter-Strike, I suppose, which is somewhat wild, somewhat hard to keep up with, but does make for an exciting end to this series, doesn't it? It's been incredibly close and comebacks here and there. It's maybe nice to have some rounds that are going back and forth really quickly. We will see a slight utility buy, but other than that, nothing much to speak of. The nade doesn't find anything there for the LYNGBY Vikings. The flash coming in, the stack of the USPs does get one. That should be all she wrote. The flash is late for some reason, but bo3 finds the frag anyway. Don't know why that flash wasn't used as soon as action was seen, but regardless, 5th round for Budapest 5, minimal damage taken.
And that flash was for him, not for his teammates. Come on. You're not gonna... I mean... This is not a team game.
I mean... Look, man. Definitely should have been getting it in. But then it's kind of crazy, right? I understand. It's all good. There was a lot of bodies. Maybe you need to be shooting rather than flashing. You don't want to blind your teammates.
I think these are the first 2 ops so far this map. 7 rounds in. Every single time it was just scouts dueling. Bird from Sky does take down bo3. Twinks chimes in with the kill onto the op. Torzi falls. Corey quickly retrieves that op because, while it's a great map, of course, and a great opping, Cabby on site does get spotted out by Fleeve. There is someone playing Mustang. Actually, I think that's the American name for it, Mustang. The right above blue, you know, in heaven there. Is that called Mustang everywhere?
I don't think so, to be honest.
What do you call it? Where he is, Rouse.
Just like rafters, probably. But then that's not very specific, I guess. I will admit, when I play, Nuke is not a popular map for me. So yeah, rafters generally does it. Back rafters, maybe.
I just always scream up left.
Yeah, something like that. It can be very confusing, I think, to be fair. If you're going into a pug on Nuke and you don't have like your call out sorted, it can definitely be confusing. It's like, what did you call that? Where is that? That's what do you want about? You know, the verticality really makes it awkward for sure. Coolio actually manages to get the bomb down. So that's kind of cool. But LYNGBY Vikings hot on their heels. It's not going to be a complete blowout here, right? They're keeping it close. Budapest 5 still in the lead, still going to have cash to buy up into the next. But LYNGBY Vikings, a really decisive round coming in. First rifle round as well. Once you start to see a bit of stability from these two sides, LYNGBY Vikings, once the rifles actually come into play fully across the board with everybody on a rifle and great amount of utility, blah, 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 they're able to get it done. Bit of an update to the odds as well. Oh, and Hellcase. All at once. We've got all the partners. We've got all the roles coming in. Malta V, 15. I can say it before it even comes up. I've said it so much. I know it off by heart, folks. Use those 2 codes. Get a bit of extra cash. 15% refill bonus. There's a banner down below, and I'm sure it's up in the chat all the time. Give it a click. Give it a go. They've got hundreds of cases to get through. Oh.
Wings getting shut down. They went for a quick boost, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it went so fast I couldn't even see it, but I think they went for a quick boost behind the box. But you didn't expect Bird from Sky is going to get swarmed by bo3. Doesn't expect him that close. And bo3 is going to head towards heaven. Not really that surprising. Rouse and I think Cabbies are both ready. Yeah, they spot him out. Rouse is going to take down bo3. But does he expect the second one, though? Oh, he's gonna run down. Well, that gives heaven away for free. Okay, cool with that. Gives him A control. Oh,
okay. Strange. Wild. Yeah. Weird. What's going on? Again, another mad round with some big question marks. But Budapest 5 looks set to come away with it. I don't know. This back and forth nature continues with Budapest 5 just keeping 2 or 3 rounds ahead of their opponents. And LYNGBY Vikings just can't catch a break. They can't string them together. Really struggling.
Rouse is gonna go for the peak,
Yeah,
it
this
seems.
could maybe work for him. There's only like 2 players technically here. Oh my goodness. He'll drop Coolio. There's a player at heaven. Surely not. Yeah, Corey is easily able to deny him here. Oh, could have gotten dicey. Maybe a second longer. And Corey's left, and that gives him enough time to work with. But that player outside was nowhere near the action.
I actually think that if he was a second sooner, he would have actually gotten the player at heaven first. And
yeah, that's true.
Because he was actually peeking towards main, and then he fell back. But you saw him like through the X-ray right at the moment that he peeked around the corner. He fell back and ducked out. That was a little bit unfortunate, I think. Oh. Torzy on the op, but Twink's on the scout, and we've seen that scout be very dangerous multiple times on this map so far.
Yeah, definitely true. To be honest, we've seen it be dangerous on the series, or in the series, I should say.
Oh,
crazy
yeah, that
stuff.
train defense.
Yeah, man. On
Scout.
both sides, but both sides using it pretty well. So I am fairly confident in Twinks' scout. About 50 seconds gone here and not too much action going down. Both teams, due to the start, due to the nature of this game, playing it very safe, not taking any risks at all in these rifle rounds. And, well, it does kind of pay off as Coolio's able to creep in, drops typos when he had a nade in hand. The turn away from the flash comes in. Beautiful stuff from Rawls. Cabby close behind to support him. They'll drop down towards B, but it's an early advantage for LYNGBY Vikings to work with.
It should be a free bomb plant. 2 coming from... they're actually all 4 coming from ramp. So that's going to be pretty tough. If you're all coming from the exact same direction, they know what side they need to aim all their bullets towards. There's going to be a push close. Will they expect a player in? Torzy shuts him down. There's going to be a peek white, but he does not expect a player close. Molly comes down. It's going to be all on Fleeve. He's going to go towards control. And with the bomb plant. Oh, the Molly on. Behind the train. Is that Molly going to connect? It is not. The Molly is off the mark, and he's going to be able to get the defuse in. No close. Or not. Wait, did he not have a kit?
I don't think so. I don't think so there. That's,
Okay.
Yeah, there was definitely one about, right? But, like, I guess the wrong player got on it.
That is so unfortunate, especially because the Molly even whiffed. You had so much time. Oh my god, LYNGBY Vikings. They just don't have the luck with them.
Yeah, definitely real pain in the backside for sure. And I think Budapest 5 are now starting to find the stability, the momentum, the back and forth nature has not continued, right? It's now looking like Budapest 5 are starting to run away with things. 8th round on the T side to come in just a few moments here. Bar something insane, but I don't see it happening. Typos has found one. He's got himself an AK. He'll probably look to save, and he won't be able to because Benito's still hanging about, being a nasty man.
And now Rawls, he's trying to secure that AK that he knows is still lying around over there. I, by the way, just checked, and no one on the LYNGBY Vikings side last round had a kit.
Yeah.
But that was a little bit of an oversight, I would assume. I mean, just drop 2 flashes and get yourself a kit. At least, you know, don't be a loser. Buy a diffuser.
True. Words to live by. Words to live by. Yeah, definitely a strange one. It cost them, like you say. So they'll be kicking themselves slightly after that fact. Obviously, the eco coming in here. Don't really find very much. An AK for Rawls, which is nice. Going to save him some cash. 1-tap potential. But Budapest 5 really looking good and starting to run away with things. Yeah, it's getting to a point of no return, I would say. They need to pick up this next rifle round and then string a few together. Probably bring it as close as, damn it. Already 8 rounds, really good on the T side of things, particularly when this has been, again, historically, between these two teams, an incredibly close map. So Budapest 5 coming away with a strong start on the weaker side. is just a recipe for success. They're going to be so happy.
That is if they manage to win these next couple of rounds. I mean, 8 rounds is already for the T side incredibly well done. There's going to be an aggressive push towards lobby. They do get 1 kill, but that wild. Oh, actually, there was Corey taking him down. I was already confused at how wild that spray turned. If that got a random headshot, would have been wonderful. Double molly up towards heaven. Corey does chop down Typos, and now it is going to be Twinks and Bird from Sky trying to recover it. Twinks jumping up quickly. Nice flash coming through. Good pop flash. Bird from Sky pushing towards the site, and it's going to be a 2-on-2. Where is actually? Oh, there's Coolio. Jump down from Twinks is going to fall, and Bird from Sky 1 versus 2 tries to spray down Coolio, but loses the fight, and that is going to be Budapest 5 with 9 rounds. A very nice victory of the half so far, and can they actually completely annihilate LYNGBY Vikings? There's going to be the pause. Probably should have done that a little bit sooner, but at least they managed to notice that things are not going the way they planned.
Yeah, I like I say, it's starting to get out of hand. And the craziness, the wild ride that was the beginning has kind of stopped, right? It's like LYNGBY Vikings are being kicked off the bus completely.
Yeah, they're absolutely being shut down right now. They're gonna go for a small little semi-buy. Oh, that's a very slow little pan. Oh, that. What was that flying there? Oh well, got a little bit distracted. Of course, the scout from Twinks, are they going to go for the quick boost again? Oh no, he's just going to dry peek it. Torzy snaps him down, and Bird from Sky is down to 6 HP. They're just trying to wallbang him through and finish the job quickly. They're going to go down below. 4 players, all 4 from LYNGBY Vikings going down secret, and that might be actually, if they're fast enough, they might catch Torzy off guard and be able to drop his arm. Might actually be very surprising for them if they hurry this up. I mean, they do have deagles and pretty decent aim. Torzy falling all the way back. Bird from Sky gets rid of Coolio. Torzy's going to peek out wide. It is very dangerous in the position that he's standing right now.
Yeah, he kind of knows it, right? Moves a bit more safe. Those more kills coming in now, making them feel a little more comfortable. Do need to be careful against the deagles, but Corey, confident, out in the open, and yeah, it's just kind of falling apart here. The CT side, not a lot of information to work with, so makes sense that they end up dropping like flies. They needed to hit those crazy, quick, reactive shots. Just not going to happen. Rawls being spotted out in between the smokes as well. So we should have ourselves a clean enough finish for Budapest 5 to this round. Double digits hit. LYNGBY Vikings. I mean, look, I give you the benefit of the doubt on the past map, on the last map, right? They're not so great on train. The historic matchup, not great for them either. But then you come on to Nuke, you kind of expect a bit more preparation, bit more competition, I would say, within the game, particularly on the CT side of things. It's just not looking too good. 5 rounds, the best they can hope for. It starts with this. If they lose this, I think 12 easily comes for Budapest 5. Double up setup. See whether they can make this work. It's been a tough ride. Oh, and Bird from Sky just spotted out. Corey gets aggressive on Silo, able to take him down a split second before he moves into smoke. Meanwhile, quick rush out onto the A side. Fire, but it's a bit of a choke point. Cabby showing why, but 1 for 1 for 1 for 1. And it will be the double AWPs left to try and pick up the pieces. Thanks to that untraded frag from Corey, Budapest 5 are in a great position to seal the deal, get the 11th, and like I said, maybe even the 12th.
The last 2 players are opting from heaven. Twinks does even out the kills, but it is still Typos with no armor and Twinks down 1 bullet to die. Are they going to be able to get anything done? They're going towards the B site, retaking with I mean, you can't even swap towards the AK because you need those 1-tap body shots. Oh my god, he jumps and just in the nick of time, Typos hits him on that shot. Great catch coming through. Coolio is going to peek in wide. He was actually looking right towards Coolio as well, but Coolio should be able to get the bomb plant in time safely. Does not know where Twinks is though, so Twinks can use that perfectly to his advantage. It is going to be still on the B site where he's... But he knows he's going to be on the B side, so he can crawl his way slowly towards that B angle. Coolio is actually going to open Squeak and rush back towards A. Oh no. Oh no. And Twinks was waiting there. He out mind gamed him by 3,000 IQ right there.
Yeah, genius moves. Absolute genius moves, and exactly what LYNGBY Vikings needed. The 5 looking a lot more doable. Still not going to be easy. Some of the players feeling the burn here. FAMAS, MP9, Auto Shotty, XM1014 to be exact, just in case anyone questions my knowledge of the Counter-Strike weaponry. Also in the other Valve title, Left 4 Dead, don't you know? There you go. For those, I feel like there's definitely got to be some people in the chat who've never played Left 4 Dead, maybe even too young. Regardless, Fleeve rushing out. I'm off on a tangent. They're wanting to end the half here and now. They're like, Scriv, mate, concentrate. Here we go. Twink's going to find one back. Typos also finding a frag. So into a 3 versus 3 just like that. It looked like it was maybe said and done. It was maybe bye-bye with the 5-on-3 in towards the ace. Like, great run in here. Oh, catching Fleeve with an aid in hand. The trade's coming in. The shot actually lands there, but Twinks doesn't get the frag. And it seems on the back end they managed to find the pesky auto shotgun. So the 11th coming in for Budapest 5. They will once again hit a pretty damn good start to nuke on the T side. That is a great half. LYNGBY Vikings, can they recover it back? I am not very confident, I must be honest.
To be fair, if you look at the kills difference between the two teams, it's not even that far apart. The only ones that are slacking a little bit are Cabby and Typos, but for the rest, Bird from Sky tied with his Raws positive KD. Twinks is tied as well, but they're just not getting the luck on their side. And with that, you can see the odds are definitely favoring Budapest 5. I mean, they've been favoring Budapest 5 the entire third map. And I would say with them now on the CT side, they only need a 5 rounds to win the entire series and face off against the Apex after this. Oh my god, this is going to be a long day for the winner of this.
Yeah,
tournament.
for sure. Definitely the case,
Vikings,
bro.
They get the bomb plant. Aral's outside is... Well, he does keep them occupied. Bird from Sky is also pushed close. They are very aggressively pushed towards that secret area on the side of LYNGBY Vikings, but the bomb is taken down. Bodito does have a defuse because he's not a loser. He bought a diffuser. His teammate in the brain. However, it tries to go for the bomb defuse, and with that, last man standing is going to be Cabby playing the squeaky double door sneaky. Will lose his life, but gets what he came for, and that is blowing up this nuclear power plant.
Another really strange everyone left alive. That time I did mention in the first half pistol that lower bomb site everyone alive plants are not that uncommon. So that one makes a little more sense. Not as wacky as everyone being left alive upstairs as it was in the previous half. We'll see here though. No one survives, so I guess it's a little awkward in that sense, but they're able to buy into this one pretty cleanly, of course. Straight down into the vent. Bird from Sky left on 8 HP. A lucky son of a gun. And Coolio might have a chance to drop a few players here. Yep, gets the catch onto one. That's the bomb leading the way. Bodito to drop Typos. Is it going to happen again? The force buy wars? It looks like it. Torzy's found a frag. No kills coming in for the LYNGBY Vikings just yet. Coolio actually winning all the fights on the lower bomb site. As he'll get 12 on the board for Budapest 5. That's another crazy what is going on. Why can we not win against force buys?
I mean, that pretty much was a situation of if it ain't broke, don't fix it attempt from LYNGBY Vikings. Hey, it worked last round. Let's try the exact same strat, but this time they were very quick on the rotation towards the B site, and they caught them off guard. Especially Coolio. I mean, on train as well on that B defense. He loves himself a good B-side defense. timing off. Twinks is going to get annihilated by Fleeve. They really need this round, but it is very unlikely with these headshots coming through. Corey takes care of Bird from Sky. Typos is actually a lot close to Bodito than Bodito knows. Free smoke. Expect Typos to be in that angle. I don't think so. He's gonna walk blindly, and that's a nice clean headshot for Typos. Does not pick up the SMG though, and it's just gonna fall away with that deagle kill. He's up against 4 more rifles, and I think their plan is gonna be towards the ramp area where we have Torsi on that M4, the only one guarding it though. Trying to win that long range fight. Typos does drop Torsi. 2 versus 3 now all of a sudden. It is possible. They are going to get themselves towards the B side, but we do have Coolio, that B defender, waiting for the bomb plant to come through. Cabby's going to peek in wide. Cabby is dead. And Coolio holds the line. Typos falls 13-5 for Budapest 5. 3 rounds away from a series victory.
Looking pretty likely on LYNGBY Vikings. Force buying themselves into oblivion here. So they are really going to need this to work out for them in this round or the next. It's an uphill battle for sure, but they are making it a hell of a lot harder for themselves. However desperate, right? Like, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan. We'll see. Rush out on towards the A site. Bodito, so much nadage coming in. Yeah, really not prepared for them rushing through the hook at all. He was looking at the wrong entrance. And they will come out with the man advantage after the initial exchange. Great molly on high. Gonna buy time for the bomb plant here as well. So they will manage to break their way into the A bomb site. The rush working out. However, are they expecting both players over at Heaven? Not quite sure. Smoke comes in. Oh, and they look away. It's a brick wall. Torsi's the one on the AWP to find the frag. Bird from Sky staying alive, though, and he gets the double. 3k overall for him. LYNGBY Vikings with the force buy. Make it work. Put their money where their mouth is. And they're not done just yet.
Tried to go for the Hail Mary Eagle of Death jump down, but unfortunately your accuracy is completely potato when you fall from that heaven. And yeah, he just gets taken down by Bird from Sky. And with that, LYNGBY Vikings, they've got themselves a solid buy. Not the best in utility, and still a Galil on to Typos, but with that Swag 7 coming in aggressively. Raul's rushing towards the B side. He's going all the way towards ramp. This is a very quick, aggressive flank, but he is being flanked at the same time as he is flanking. Does turn around, wins the fight against Bodito, and knows that there's another play towards ramp, who tries to peek in wide to shut him down. Misses all the CZ shot, not having the spray control coming through. Corey does tap in with that USP, but it is going to be a 2-on-4 situation. Never mind 2-on-3 situation with Cabby getting his head chopped clean off. Corey is going for the defense. Swings, does not miss that shot. Does Torsi manage to get anything done? He's going to pick up the AK. But from Sky's pretty low. Can he make this work? Twinks is holding the angle though.
Yeah, should be doable. Yeah, trigger discipline, easy stuff. Really well played from Twinks in the isolated exchange there, but overall, LYNGBY Vikings going as expected. Able to break the economy of Budapest 5 as well. So buying themselves a good amount of time to work with here and a really good chance at closing the gap. Still remains to be seen whether they'll do it the whole way through, whether they'll, of course, snatch things away. It's not been the case this evening. We've come close with the 16-14 Coolio. Yeah, the tunes. You know the music. You know the sound. The theme song. Regardless, rushing out here. Another throwaway round. Corey gets one, but mowing them all down. Nothing too crazy happening. It seems it's over. The force buy back and forth that we saw in the first half does come through a little bit into the second, but not quite as much, which is cool, which is good. It kind of, saves my sanity, I think.
Yeah, that was a nice quick round, but there's the full buy. Torsi has himself that op, and we're gonna see a I really want to see more of those op duels between the two. Because most of the time, either of the two teams is missing the op most of these rounds. LYNGBY Vikings, is this going to be another one of those crushing defeats where they get so close, just like on the train, and then eventually they just get shut down 3 rounds in a row? There's going to be a peek out wide. Corey holds the defense, gets a double sprayed out. Ral's getting spotted out by bo3 in the smoke, and that's going to be very problematic. LYNGBY Vikings, yeah, this is just... They win so many rounds in a row that it is going to be Twinks trying to hold that op alive, but it is bo3 with the flank from Squeaky to shut them down. 2 more rounds from Budapest 5, and then it's all over for LYNGBY Vikings. Loser of this match, of course, gets eliminated, and the winner has to face off against Apex to see who is going to place in the playoffs later this week.
Definitely like that from Budapest 5, though. Taking some slight risks. Really looking good.
bo3 starting off nicely, taking out Bird from Skyral's already got a little bit of damage against him. Cabby's gonna go and head towards Secret, but Fleeve, he already knows what's coming towards him. Holding that defense, Molly in hand. The moment that he sees multiple heroes peek, and he's just going to fall back. Twinks just saw an inkling right there. He just saw something move slightly, and he's immediately double scoping into that angle. But look at how close they are. Cabby is next to the smoke. Does take down Fleeve's skull. And Dorsey has to fall back towards Hell. Cabby's going to get another catch onto bo3. Coolio is still the one hiding towards B. And is going to get spotted out. They're going to just surround him. He can't hold that defense. Corey does get rid of Cabby, though. And it's going to be a 2-on-3 retake situation. It is tough, especially with the position of Ral's behind that. I don't even know what that is. A nuclear coil? That thing on site.
I think it's a reactor. I could be wrong. I also am not very up with my nuclear physics. Maybe we should be. How can we call ourselves Counter-Strike commentators without a physics degree, man? Come on.
Yeah, we need to know the curvature of bullets, and we need to know how to create power from nuclear energy. But yeah, they're gonna need all the power they can get on LYNGBY Vikings, because they need so many clean rounds now. 6 to tie the series. I mean, it's not impossible. I've seen even today a 15-9 turn into a 15-15. So hey,
yeah, definitely doable, but it's still a long road ahead. And Budapest 5 have done a good job of eventually, once the economy stables out. That's kind of the issue they've had on this CT side, at least in recent memory. Once it stables out, they seem to be a bit more capable of picking up rounds. Even if in isolation, like it's good enough because they have such a lead to work with that if it's like every time we get a buy round, we get the first, you know, we get that initial round. Sure, we might not string them together, but that should be enough for them to take things over the line. However, of course, you don't want to give too much momentum and whatnot across to your opponents. Oh, the timing for Ralls is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Fleeve with a door spam to bait them in. Almost finding the frag onto Twinks, but not going to be the case. The bomb's gone down now. And I think that might just do it. With no utility, lack of information, and no kit, even in a 4v4, I don't really see this being doable. Maybe if they peek in and make the wrong decisions on the LYNGBY Viking side, but they're just not going to do that. Yeah, and Budapest 5 conceding the round, retrieving some weapons, and will look to dip out as quickly as they can. bo3 sticking around on his scout. That's fair, right? Not a massive weapon to lose, but he will indeed lose it. Meanwhile, the AK and the AWP want to be saved into the next round for sure.
I gotta say that I really like that play coming in from I think it was Fleeve with the squeaky door, just trying to get them to go down control, and just he loses the fight, but it is still kind of funny. Everyone's like planting the bomb or something on site, and you hear that door open, you're like, help me, help me. we're gonna have another full buy coming out from Budapest 5. From Torres, he's getting aggressive, spots him on the jump, takes down Typos, but he does not see the second player as close. Already pushing him, Bonito is gonna turn around and take down Cabby. It is Fleeve stuck in the corner at second vents, sprayed out wide from Coolio, and Coolio, you know, he keeps it cool, he keeps it calm, he keeps it collected, and another double spray down to shut down that LYNGBY Vikings push.
Wrecked.
Brutal, savage.
Indeed. Wrong order, but you know the one. Close enough. Really, really solid stuff coming through. And as we said, right, those isolated mistakes that can happen when you're on the comeback train, you've got to play perfect Counter-Strike, and LYNGBY Vikings not being far away from it, but definitely not 100%. And it does give Budapest 5 map and series point. As soon as they let things slip ever so slightly, they will have a strong enough buy to work with here. The outside smoke's coming in as well. Nice and wide, giving them room to work with. It is a bit more of a ramp hit. If they're even going to go for it, I'm not sure. They've got that one player down secret, but apart from that, they've not acted very aggressively. I say that. Bird from Sky, of course, finds the first onto Torzi. So an early advantage here for LYNGBY Vikings. Typos is going to get Bodito. Twinks to drop Fleeve. Looking really good. Looking really good to get the 11th. Down to Corey and Coolio. And the curse continues here for the CT side, by the way. The one round in isolation every rifle round they pull out. And it looks like it, yeah, is indeed going to happen again.
Well, as long as LYNGBY Vikings still have the energy, look at the flank from Corey, just rushing through, dropping his M4 for an op at that situation, trying to hopefully pick up an AK, but he unfortunately killed the wrong person. And Coolio versus Cabby on the ramp. He's kind of stuck right now. He's walking into a dangerous angle, but he does win that fight. Needs to save the AK for the next round. They don't have a lot of money, but saving one AK would definitely help out in the long run. Because, yeah, just the one little extra piece. He is thinking a little bit aggressively. They're trying to drop that AK, though. Flank from behind. Coolio still gets bird from Sky. And he wants definitely to keep that AK alive and should be able to. The blast radius is not as bad as it used to be. I remember if you stood there, you got 100 to 0.
Regardless, Budapest 5. And what's the option? Looks like a half buy around the AK. Not going to go mad. Not seeing the force buys rear their ugly head again. So just going to play it safe. And it should. Emphasis on the should. To be honest. Because it's not really been that clear cut throughout this third map. But it should be another round for LYNGBY Vikings on the board. Easily, I would have thought. To be honest with you. There you go. First frag coming in. Coolio to find one onto Rawls, though. The player lurking towards ramp is dropped. The deagle as well going to go unchecked here. He gets one, but is traded. Still being kept close. Fleeve here in quick succession with his newfound AK. They've worked their way back up towards A, though, instantly. Wild stuff once again, and I think with that, losing control of the A-bomb site might be a bit too much for them to recover back. Oh, the second molly for Coolio. They're really keeping him at bay there. Unlucky, unfortunate.
Yeah, they do have a kit, but I would just... Oh, are they actually going to go for it? Bomb is ticking pretty quickly, and they should have perfect post-plant positions, but they're going to go for it. Coolio wants to go for the hero play. Doesn't spot anyone out. If he gets too close, he's going to get shot down by the Twinks Opera. Yeah. Save the AK into the next round. You have a very healthy buy. Coolio will even be able to drop an op for Torji, and with the full utility right behind it as well. This should be a solid buy for Budapest 5, and they have to hurry because otherwise we're going to be entering OT territory. Oh, technical coming in, so Probably a mic problem or something. You know, I see so many issues with Discord. Actually, most of the time it's TeamSpeak.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's industry secrets. I can't reveal it live on stream. But between you and me, no one else is listening. It's not always a TeamSpeak issue. Okay. Don't tell anyone. I think it's just kind of like a thing that you need it to be perfect, and you definitely can have issues with your voice comms, right? I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but you also have to bear in mind 3 maps here, back to back to back, very intense. This one's pretty long. When do you go to the toilet? You know, like especially
don't they just wear diapers?
Even if you went beforehand and you drink a lot of water, look, man, diapers ain't gonna cut it. You know. We're in a global pandemic right now. They're sold out everywhere. There's Counter-Strike players everywhere in diapers, and there's just not enough to go around.
Pro mode. I mean, catheter yourself. It's that simple. It's just a tube.
You're really committed.
Hey, you gotta, you know, if you want to be pro, you gotta put in the work and the pain. But they're gonna go for a quick ram push. Coolio gets flashed off his position. Molly does buy him some time so he can fall back, but the smoke immediately on top. They're gonna rush forward. Gabby's trying to get a catch. They already lost typos, but they managed to get Torsey in return. Coolio is trying to defend that B site. It is his baby. You're not touching it at all. I mean, you're a weird man if you're trying to touch a baby in general. And Twinks is the last man standing. It is looking like it is all over for LYNGBY Vikings right here. They get so close again. Oh, Twinks does shut down Coolio, but where are the other players? There's probably, a ram flank already coming through. 2 ram flanks from both sides. And Twinks, you can't hold this peak off, and that's